home.
Thank you, thank you.
Nice vacation?
Wonderful. Tell me, how's my favorite person in all the world?
Oh, Chief, I don't know what to say.
Well, just tell me how he is. Mr. Clampett.
Oh, fine. Granny and Jethro are on a little visit back to the hills.
What?
Oh, it's all right. Mr. Clampett is still here.
And there's money?
Still here. Ellie Mae's still here, too.
Good.
She's doing the cooking.
Ellie is cooking?
Yes.
Well, quick, we've got to get up there.
Why?
Mr. Clampett might eat some.
Sit down, Pa. Everything's ready. I've been cooking all morning.
You have, huh?
Yes, sir. I warmed up a big batch of pork chops and homemade biscuits and gravy.
Well, let's see now. That's a pretty fair-looking done-to-a-turn pork chop.
But that's a biscuit. This is the pork chops in this dish with the cover on it. How many would you like?
Well, I believe I'll start out with a couple of these biscuits. You didn't set a place for yourself.
Well, it's a funny thing, Pa. Being in the kitchen so much just kind of took my appetite. When I cook it, I don't care too much to eat it.
I know what you mean.
Well, would you like some gravy on your biscuits?
I sure would, and this is exactly the way I like my gravy, thick and brown.
That's coffee. Yes, sir. Cooked it in a pan because the coffee pot got clogged up with what I made for breakfast.
Set up on you again, huh?
Yes, sir.
Ellie, you know, a girl as pretty as you oughtn't to waste her time cooking.
I don't mind, Pa, now that I'm getting good at it. Well, I'll fetch you some gravy.
Fine.
Would you like it on your biscuit?
All right. Kind of set up on you, too.
I know how you like your gravy thick. Pa, you sure put that away.
Oh, yeah, I did. Well, that was some meal.
I bet you're a dessert.
Well, now, Ellie, I ain't really very hungry.
Chocolate sauce on it.
Chocolate sauce, huh?
Yeah, and I know how you like that.
I do for a fact. Well, fetch it up. Well, doggy.
I'll dash around back. Oh, I hope we're not too late.
Chief, you're over-dramatizing the situation. Ellie's cooking isn't that bad. Why, I remember a meatloaf she cooked once. It was... Oh, I hope we're not too late.
By doggy, that's a mighty tasty dessert.
Well, I guess you wasn't just funny when you said what you did about chocolate sauce.
What'd I say?
Well, you always said you could eat sawdust if it had chocolate sauce on it.
Hey, May, you didn't feed me chocolate-covered sawdust, did you?
Of course not, Paul.
Good.
That was last night's meatloaf.
Meatloaf?
Remember, you said it was so good you was going to save it for dessert.
This is much better. Am I too late?
I'm afraid so.
No, you ain't, Miss Jane. There's a whole dish of pork chops here.
We got company. Why don't you run up and put on a nice, pretty dress?
Oh, yes, sir, Paul.
Mr. Clampett, are you all right?
Sure, I'm fine, thanks. Glad to see you back, Mr. Drysdale.
I just heard about Ellie cooking. Miss Hathaway should have told you to take your meals out.
Well, I have been taking them out and burying them.
What are you living on?
Well, Granny left enough victuals for a couple of weeks, but since that run out, it's been mostly roots and berries. And there is a squirrel I'm right beholden to for nuts.
That's terrible.
That's all right. I'll make it up to him.
No, starting right now, you're eating at my house.
Well, that's awful nice of you, but I wouldn't want to hurt Ellie's feelings. She's trying her best. Besides, I look for Granny and Jethro back any time now.
Did you arrange their transportation?
Well, no, Mr. Clampett said it had been taken care of.
Oh, they're traveling first class, of course.
Oh, sure. They took the truck.
Hey, They should be flying.
They probably are. You can't go too fast for Granny.
Come on, Jethro. We're getting close to home. Faster, faster. Come on, boy. We're put near to the top of the hill. Hold on.
Granny, if I give out, this thing will roll back on me.
No, it won't. I got the brake on.
Well, let it off. Let it off.
Should I take it out of gear, too?
Yeah. Ah! Hold it, Granny. Put the brake on, Granny.
It's kind of you to fret over me, but I'll hold out till Granny and...
Put on the brake, Granny.
Hot doggies, I believe that's them now.
I'm tired of your backseat driving.
Truck sure is running quiet. He's here, all right. Welcome home. We's glad to, where's your Granny?
Right here, where I got stowed when that loudmouth smacked into Miss Jane's car.
Granny,
You all right? Why didn't you put on your brake?
I couldn't reach him. I was running alongside, hanging onto the steering wheel.
Boy, that ain't no way to drive.
But Uncle Jed,
You might have hurt your Granny pitching her 10, 12 feet like that.
But Uncle Jed,
And look at your shoes. You done wore them clean down to your pink socks.
what pink socks? Them's my feet.
Call himself a driver. The minute he takes the wheel, wham, he smacks into something.
Now, Granny, the boy has learned his lesson. From now on, he's going to drive sitting in the seat like other folks.
But Uncle Jed, I wasn't driving, I was pushing.
pushing.
Yes, sir, Miss Jane. Been pushing ever since the truck give out on us at the city limits.
Los Angeles or Beverly Hills?
San Bernardino.
San Bernardino.
Why, that's 50 miles.
Yeah, thank goodness it was all freeway.
That's it. I set it right down there, boys. Thank you. Where's Jethro?
He's going to finish unloading the truck, Granny.
Fine, fine. Now, gather round. There's presents for everybody. Now, the first is for Ellie Mae.
Oh, thank you, Granny.
It's from your Aunt Pearl. It's a party dress. Pearl sewed it all by hand, every stitch.
Pearl's Modiste.
Let's see it, Ellie.
Beautiful.
It is for a fact, Ellie.
That's a Pearl Bodine original. You won't never see another dress like that, no place.
I believe you.
It is absolutely fabulous.
Run upstairs and try it on.
Oh, yes, sir, Pa.
Pretty, ain't it?
Oh, it's absolutely fabulous. That Pearl is a genius.
I'm glad to hear you say that, Miss Jane, 'cause Pearl sent you something, too.
A dress?
No, but it's a Pearl Bodine original. It's a hat. Here it is.
Ain't that a world beater?
Pearl kept it simple so you could wear it to the bank.
And she will, she will.
I don't know what to say.
Right on, Miss Jane.
Yeah, let's see what it does for you.
Oh, well, my hair's
Oh,
from
now,
the
come on, give us a treat.
Ride's a little low, don't you think, Granny?
Well, Pearl didn't know her size, but she can pad it out with tissue paper.
Well, it is lovely. I'll write Pearl a note and thank her.
You know, Mr. Drysdale, Pearl has never made nothing for men.
Oh, what a shame.
Until now. She has took up making hand-painted neckties. One for you, Mr. Drysdale. And one for you, Jet.
Doggies. Did Pearl paint this?
She sure did, freehand. No tracing or nothing. And you don't have to worry about getting caught in the rain. That is genuine outdoor barn paint.
It's well, she shouldn't have done it.
Pearl has a favor to ask of you.
She has?
Well, you see, she's right anxious to know how city folks takes to these. And she'd like it a heap if you'd wear yours to the bank.
Oh, you will.
Will you?
Granny, you're embarrassing Mr. Drysdale to ask him a question like that. He's our friend and our neighbor. You know he'll do it.
Sure, of course. Well, Miss Hathaway, we'd better be going.
Oh, just a minute. I got another present I brung you. I picked it out myself. It's for your office.
Souvenir. Snyder Swamp.
That's the big health resort back in our neck of the woods.
Folks come from miles around to take the cure.
Cure for what?
You know, Jed?
Oh, but it must work. Nobody ever comes back.
Well, thanks again for these lovely gifts.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Glad you like them. Don't you want to see what else I brought from home?
Another time, Granny.
Oh, would you leave the door open, Miss Jane? I gotta ask Granny where she wants her sorghum.
Is that thing full of sorghum?
Oh, yes, sir. 60 gallons.
It must weigh a ton.
Oh, no, ma'am. Only 600 or 700 pounds, but it's kind of clumsy. And I'm pooped from pushing that truck.
There it is, Jed. A telephone.
Granny, we got telephones all over the house.
Not like this, and you ain't. Looky here.
Granny, where do you want your sorghum?
Solid oak. Not only is it built better, but with these new phones, you don't have to dial. All you do is turn the crank, lift up the receiver, and say, "Hello, Central, give me so-and-so." And I never knowed anything could be so much enjoyment. Why, back to Pearls, I used to spend 10 to 12 hours a day on this thing.
It's a heap of talking.
I was listening. It's what you call a party line.
Jethro, what are you doing?
Get up from there, boy.
Yeah, that's my sorghum barrel you're playing with.
If that thing was to bust open, we'd have an awful mess.
If you want to do something, connect up my new telephone.
Jethro do that?
He took it down at Pearls.
How do y'all like my party dress?
Oh, ain't you pretty?
What Pearl can do with a needle and thread just ain't to be believed.
We gotta have a party so Ellie can wear it.
Quick as I get my new telephone connected, I'll invite everybody on the line.
You hear that, boy? Hurry up. I thought I told you to get up from there. Come on, on your feet.
Looky that. He done wore himself out playing with that heavy barrel.
You be tuckered out after pushing a truck 50 miles on the freeway?
Well, we stayed pretty much in the slow lane.
Stop, Granny.
All right, no more playing. Take that barrel around back and connect up my telephone.
Oh, Granny, I'm plumb spent. I can't move a muscle till I have some victuals.
Well, come on, Jethro. I'll make you meatloaf.
Never mind, Ellie. I just got my second wind.
Well, I see Jethro's got your party line telephone up.
It's been up for a half hour. I ain't getting nothing on it.
Let me see. How come you put it so low?
I said to. Told him to put it rocking chair high.
I don't hear a thing. Sure you know how to connect it up?
He claimed he did. Said he'd been watching them telephone fellers, the ones that climb the poles.
Maybe I can find him if I follow these wires. Jethro?
Yes, sir.
Granny's waiting for you to hook up her telephone.
Yes, sir. I know.
Reckon you can climb a pole with all them tools on you?
Oh, yes, sir. You see, them telephone fellows got great big old spikes strapped to their boots.
You got some?
Yes, sir.
Well, what are you doing standing there?
Trying to pull them out of the ground. Hit a soft spot. Sunk into the handle.
Is them my good potato forks?
Yes, sir.
Hold still, I'll cut you loose.
Thank you.
How long you been stuck here?
Quite a spell. It got to where the birds was lighting on me.
You call me to help you.
I was afraid you might think I was kind of dumb.
Why Why would I think a thing like that?
I guess you're right. Well, tell Granny I'll have her hooked up in no time.
Who are you talking to, Granny?
Ain't talking to nobody.
Well, who are you listening to?
Ain't listening to nobody neither. Jethro still ain't got me connected up yet. Run outside, see
Good
can you...
news, Granny. Jethro's up the pole, and he says that... You ain't cooking, are you, Ellie?
Oh, I'm fixing to, Paul. I figured I'd bake up a cake for the party.
Well, instead of that, why don't you run out to where Jethro's sitting on top of that pole?
Well, what for?
Well, I don't want no terrible accident to happen.
Oh, don't you worry, Paul. I won't let him fall off that pole.
That ain't the accident I had in mind.
Where am I gonna come in hearing something?
Any minute, Granny. You know, there's a heap of wires up on that pole for Jethro to choose from. How you coming, boy?
Fine, Uncle Jed. Granny's gonna have plenty to listen to. These old telephone wires is humming like a swarm of bees.
Granny, I don't know what you heard, but it must have been an earful.
Granny.
Excuse me, Chief.
Just a minute.
Now, look, Margaret, I don't care how long the electricity has been off. I can't fix it. Call the power and light. My wife says the whole neighborhood is... Get that nightmare off your head.
Carpets are on their way up.
What? Oh, my time. Put mine on. Here. Can we come in? Well, look who's here. We were just admiring our beautiful gifts.
Well, we're glad you like it.
Oh, lovely. Now, what can we do for you?
Well, it seems that Granny here come back from the hills with a powerful hankering to have herself a party line telephone.
A what?
A party line telephone.
A party line telephone?
Jed, ask him about the party line telephone.
I just did, Granny.
Hey!
Yeah, I just did.
Did what?
Ask him about the party line telephone.
Well, if you won't do it, I guess I'll have to. I'd like to have a party line telephone.
Has something gone wrong with Granny's hearing?
Yes, ma'am. You see, Pearl give Granny her telephone, but Jethro must have hooked it up wrong because it blowed up in Granny's ear.
Jed, tell him what happened to Pearl's telephone.
I just did.
Eh?
I just did.
Did what?
Tell him what happened to Pearl's telephone.
You see, Pearl give me her telephone, but Jethro must have connected it up wrong, because every time...
Granny, I told him.
Eh?
Mr. Clem, explain to us what happened with Pearl's telephone.
That's it. That's what I want. Can you get me one?
It's sure pleasure a heap.
Well, I'll do my best.
What'd you say?
He said he'd do his best.
Eh?
Best.
Yeah. Looks real nice with Pearl's top. But what about the telephone?
He'll do it. Okay.
I'll do my...
Good. Thank you, Mr. Drysdale. And I'd like about 10 or 12 parties on the line. And see if you can get me Pearl's old ring. 3 shorts and a long.
Thanks again.
Chief, this is Beverly Hills. You'll never...
Oh, connect me with the telephone business office, please.
This is the home of private phones and unlisted numbers. You'll never get the Clampetts a party line.
Don't worry. The right threat can accomplish miracles.
You're going to threaten the telephone company?
No, I'm going to threaten you. Get them a party line or you're fired.
Hello?
That's a nice little walk down to the bank and back. We ought to do more of that, don't you think?
You know, Jed, that's a nice little walk down to the bank and back. I think the exercise helped my hearing.
Yeah.
I should have known better than to depend on you.
But Chief,
What am I going to tell the clampers when they want to know why? There they are. Your hat. Where's your hat?
Oh, it's in there.
Come in, come in. I was just admiring this beautiful pillow. Can't wait to get to Snyder's Swamp.
Well, I won't hold you up long.
Who are you?
Well, I'm Mr. Kramer with the telephone company. The business office says you requested a party line.
Well, not for me. It's for this eccentric little lady.
Oh. I understand you want a party line.
No. She's not the one either. I'm talking about a real oddball character.
I see. But in any event, I have come to explain that the telephone company is unable to grant your request.
Baloney.
I beg your pardon?
It's no longer a request. It's a demand.
Demand?
Yes, my bank does a lot of business with the telephone company. Now, either you give the Clampets a party line, or you're going to lose a good customer. Now, drop that in your coin box and see what number you get.
Y'all wait right here while I go fetch Mr. Drysdale. And, Granny, I'd be much obliged if you'd stop your belly aching. Seems to me we got a whole heap to be grateful for tonight.
Name me something.
Well, Mr. Drysdale taking us all out to supper.
Yeah, we won't have to eat Ellie's cooking.
And Jethro's got the truck running again. You got your hearing back?
What good is it? I ain't got no party line to listen to.
Granny, don't you be throwing that up to Mr. Drysdale. He done his best. He went right to the wall for you. Don't you mean-mouth him no more.
Mr. Drysdale, he don't know nothing.
Mr. Drysdale, we ready to go to supper?
Oh, good. I'll have Miss Hathaway check our reservations.
Well, I didn't see her in her office.
Well, she's filling in on the switchboard.
Oh. Well, we sure do want to thank you for the scrap you put up over Granny's party line.
My pleasure. I showed the telephone company they can't push Milburn Drysdale around. Hello? Miss Hathaway?
Hello, yes, Chief. Hello, Chief.
Miss Hathaway,
Oh, there you are, Chief. Yes, what is it?
check my dinner reservation.
Yes, sir. Hold the hose, please.
Great little system. Saves a bundle. The only thing we haven't licked is long distance.
Danny! Granny, guess who's in the paper?
Well, I hope it's worth ruining my possum pot pie.
Well, Diana Dayton's done got herself engaged.
That ain't even worth the crust. Who's she?
Oh, I met her that day at that fancy girls' school. Look right there in Society Sandy's column.
Well, if that girl can get a husband, anybody can. Ugliest thing I ever did see. Got a beard clear down to her chest.
Well, Granny, you're looking at the wrong picture. That's some actor. This is Diana.
The actor's prettier than she is, even with the beard.
Listen to what Society Sandy says about her. This reporter's ears turned shocking pink to hear Divine Diana Dayton announce her engagement just hours after being presented to society at the biggest coming-out party these baby blues have ever seen.
Well, that's fine, honey. Now, you run along. Now, you'll get a husband, don't you worry.
But I ain't worried.
Of course not, honey. No need to be. I'm worrying enough for the both of us.
We're back.
Oh, good. Jethro, here's the phone number of the newspaper. You call up and get the Society Sandy on the phone and ask her what it takes to give a coming-out party.
Yes, ma'am.
A coming-out party.
Or Ellie. This Diana gal snared herself a husband right after she give one. She's got a face of sour milk.
Better find out what they put in the punch.
I got Society Sandy's secretary on the phone.
We should have thought of it. The reason Ellie ain't got no dates is because nobody in Beverly Hills knows that she's here. She ain't been presented to society.
And that's what a coming out party's for,
Why, sure. When you want to get rid of an old hound dog, you bring him out where folks can look at him, don't you?
I see your point, but I wouldn't put it just that way.
All I know is that I've tried every love charm in my book to get Ellie Mae a husband. And now we gotta give it the old horse auction approach.
I don't know as I'd put it that way, neither.
Yes, ma'am? Uh-huh. Hand engraved invitation. Everybody in the blue book. Uh-huh. Is that all?
Yes, that's about it. Have fun and lots of luck. Bye. Oh, society! Sandy, feast your baby blues on this.
Yeah?
Ellie Mae Clampett is having a coming out party.
Ellie Mae Clampett. Let me see. Did I meet her at the Von Clippington tea dance?
Oh, Sandy, I'm putting you on. It was a hillbilly. You should have heard the questions. At a coming out party, does the folks have to stay out, or can they come back inside and Santa spell?
Clampett. Clampett. I know I've heard that name before. Get me research on the horn.
Oh.
Next, you got to invite the 400. They's in the blue book.
We'll get one of them books.
Yeah. And then you got to have party victuals fixed by a world's famous chef.
Mm-hmm. I already figured on doing the cooking.
And then you got to have music for dancing.
Well, I'll get out my guitar and Jethro and his spoon.
Yeah.
This is Ellie's big chance. We gotta do everything big. Everything first rate.
You're right. We gotta hire us a high-class outfit.
This calls for nothing less than Luther Gooch and his Ozark Jug Band.
You reckon they'd come?
Oh, it's gonna cost Jed a purty penny. But as long as we've gone this far, what's another $10 or $20?
Okay, thanks. No, that's all I need to know. Wow. What a scoop. Ellie Mae's father, J.D. Clampett, has 68 million simoleons.
Oh, they're in the simoleon business.
That means money, honey. They're oil rich. Get them on the phone.
But they're not in the social register.
Who cares? With that kind of loot in a cash register, this could be the coming out party of the year.
Okay, if you say so.
Look, I know a hot story when I see one. Don't forget, before I took over this desk, I was 22 years as fashion editor.
Well, it's all settled. Along with Luther and his jug band, we're bringing out Millard Fribble and his swing-a-latin musical songs.
We'll put one of them out by the cement pond, the other one out front.
That way, either door the folks come out, they're covered.
Hello? Yes, this is J.D. Clampett's residential caller. Society Sandy?
That's right, honey. I'm checking out a rumor that there's a coming out party for Ellie Mae Clampett.
It ain't no rumor. It's gonna be the biggest wing-ding you ever seen. We're bringing in 2 bands from out of town, inviting everybody in the blue book and then some.
Sounds like you're out to get a name for yourself.
No, we're out to get a name for Ellie. One with a missus in front of it. She's spending a fortune. We're gonna make the Diana Dayton's party look like a rained-out well digging.
Zappity-doo, pussycat. My head is spinning.
Then if you don't want to miss the party, you take some whorehound and honey and get right in bed. Bye.
Is Society Sandy sick?
I'll say, light-headed, talking goofy, and has the worst case of gravel throat I ever heard. She sounded for all the world like a man.
Good morning, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, Chief, have you seen the morning paper?
No. Is my picture in it?
It's Society Sandy's column. It says the Clampetts are having a coming-out party for Ellie Mae.
What?
Listen, there's a coming-out party planned for the Clampett Cupcake Ellie Mae that should be the Beverly Hills Basherino of the year. Papa Clampett is sparing no expense.
Call that paper. They can't print lies like that. I'll sue.
Well, Society Sandy got the story right from Granny.
Come on, we've got to get up there and stop them.
But Chief, a coming-out party for Ellie Mae isn't such a bad idea.
It is when they spare no expense. Come on. Mr. Clampett, Granny?
This must be their idea of a coming-out party. Oh, Chief, it's worse than I thought.
Yeah, they must have spent 10 or 20 bucks on crepe paper alone.
I was thinking of the Clampetts' feelings.
We'll think of a reason why nobody shows up.
Chief, after a mention in Society Sandy's column, every matron in Beverly Hills will give the mink coat off her poodle's back to come.
You think so?
I know so, that they'll be expecting champagne, roses, white tie, and tails. It's an exquisitely beautiful, elegant affair.
Well, thank you, Miss Jane. We done the best we could.
They'll be talking about this party for a long time.
I sure hope so. Well, come on, say hello to Granny. She's out in the kitchen whooping up the party victuals.
She's already started cooking?
Has been for 48 hours. She sleeps standing up, leaning against the cupboard with a ladle in her hand.
My goodness.
Yeah, she says she's going to make this a bigger coming-out party than the one Elsie Suggins had back home.
A coming-out party back in the hills?
Well, in a manner of speaking, Elsie gave it for her boy Moonshine when he got out of jail. Granny, look who's here.
Hello, Granny.
How are you, Granny?
Good to see you. But don't get no ideas you're going to help out. Everything's been taken care of. The plans has been made, and the cooking is on the way.
Granny, you're dead on your feet. You need some sleep.
Sleep, there'll be plenty of time for that after Ellie's wedding.
Wedding?
Yes. Out here, a coming-out party can get a gal married quicker than a shotgun could back home.
Well, I don't know about that, but I thought it'd be a good way for Ellie to meet some of the young fellas around here. Granny.
Oh, yeah, of course. That's right, of course.
Oh, howdy, Miss Drysdale. Miss Jane. Uncle Jeff, the wind was blowing too much out back, so he's going to finish the invitations in here.
Those are invitations?
Yes, ma'am. For a fancy do like this, we found out they had to be hand engraved.
Come on, Bessie. Can't you go no faster?
You lay off her, Jethro. She can print twice as pretty as you can.
Well, she ought to be able to. She takes twice as long.
Bessie helping you?
Well, Jethro said we'd never get done unless she did.
Yeah, Society Sandy said that we should send invites to every one of the 400 in the Blue Book.
Do you have a blue book?
Yeah. This here's one.
Jethro, this is the Beverly Hills telephone directory.
That's right. That's the only one with the blue cover.
Jethro, the blue book is another name for the social register.
Yeah. Boy, if I wasn't so doggone good at ciphering, I'd swear there was more than 400 names in here.
Come on, we've got to figure a way out of this.
Right, Chief. Goodbye, Granny, Mr. Clampett.
Goodbye.
Well, bye now. We'll see you at the party. I'll say your goodbyes to Granny.
Where's my pot? Cover the owl burgers. Start peeling them Rudy Bakers. Where's my pot?
Chief, I have another call wondering if you can arrange an invitation to the Clampett party. It's Prince Filippo de Ragatini.
Hello? No, I can't. Absolutely not. Goodbye.
Chief, I know you're upset, but should you have talked that way to Prince Filippo de Ragatini? After all, he's one of the biggest dry cleaners in Beverly Hills.
I'm worried about the cleaning this bank is going to take when the Clampetts get laughed out of town.
I don't know which will hurt them more. Being laughed at then or being told now they're doing everything wrong.
Well, you've got to tell them.
Absolutely not. I'll resign first.
All right, resign first, then tell them.
I couldn't.
Well, who are we going to find? Who will? Who's cold enough, callous enough, heartless enough to...
Milburn?
Margaret, we were just talking about you. Excuse us, Miss Hathaway. How are you, my sweet?
I was just reading Society Sandy's column about Ellie Mae Clampett's coming out party. Everybody in the beauty salon was talking about it.
Oh, yes. Your hair does look gorgeous, dear.
Claude's beauty salon, the Poodle Pampatorium.
Your hair does look gorgeous, Claude.
Oh, stop it, Milburn.
He was having a facial.
A facial?
Yes. Milburn, what about Ellie Mae's party? Apparently the cream of Beverly Hills society is going. It's the talk of the town.
Yes, it is a wonderful opportunity for the Clampetts, but I did want to ask you if... Well, they do need social direction, and I know how good you are at giving parties, and... Well, would you help them?
I'd love to.
Did you say you'd love to?
Well, I certainly can't beat them, so I might as well do everything I can to help them, fit in.
Oh, Margaret, that's wonderful.
Have Miss Hathaway tell them that I'll be over right away.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
We'll be going home soon, baby. And then Mumsy is going to pay a visit to the Clampets. Now. We are going to get rid of them for good. When I get through with their party and all Beverly Hills sees what oafs they really are.
Margaret, I just talked to Mr. Clampett. I told him about your offer, and he said Granny would welcome the help with open arms.
Tell her to mind her own business. I don't need her. I don't want her around.
After all these years of doing us dirt, Miss Drysdale's offering to help us. You don't want to hurt her feelings, do you?
No, it ain't her feelings I want to hurt.
Nobody knows more about society than her. Not even Society Sandy.
Yeah, she just might be able to help us. I think we ought to give her a chance.
All right, if you say so. But let her tell me one thing that I've done wrong, and I'm going to wrap this spoon around her neck.
All right, everybody, Miss Drysdale's here to lend a hand.
How do you do?
Howdy, Miss
Hi, Miss Drysdale. Now, let's make her welcome. And pulling together, we'll put on the best coming-out party ever.
I'm sure you'll never forget it. Tell me some of the things you're cooking, Granny.
I'm starting with possum sausages. What about it?
Possum sausages? How wonderful.
Huh?
The 400 will love them. What else are you serving?
Filet.
Filet mignon?
Filet gumbo.
Good.
Full of whole crawdads, big chunks of catfish, and mudsucker.
Oh, my taste buds are doing a tango. Society will be mad about them. And what party preparations are these?
We're hand-engraving party invites.
These are the invitations?
Yeah, we's all doing it. Bessie, too.
You have a monkey writing invitations? I never heard of one so smart.
I don't know why everybody makes such a big fuss over that ape. She's only copying what I put in front of her. You take this away from her, she can barely write her own name.
These are the invitations you're sending out.
Yeah, to everybody in the blue book.
This is the blue book? You only want the elite at your party. Why don't you let me take care of inviting the guests?
Swell. You can take over right there at Porky's Pizza Parlor.
Don't worry. I'll make sure the right people come.
Now, you see, Granny, she's being a help. Why, you might even have a chance to get some sleep before the party. Of course, I know you ain't the least bit sleepy. Are you, Granny? Granny?
Good morning, Miss Hathaway. Well, all ready for the big party tonight?
I'm ready, but are the Clampets?
I'll check a little later. Margaret's up there right now attending to the final details, and she's personally invited all the right people.
Yes, but Chief, what about the hand-engraved invitations to everybody in the phone book?
Margaret took care of that. She told Jethro she'd bring them back here to mail, and she did, in the incinerator.
Chief, that's so sly and devious.
Yes. Isn't she wonderful?
Good morning, Mr. Clampett. You all ready for our party?
Well, we was, Miss Drysdale, but I'm afraid I got a piece of bad news. This here telegram's from Millard Fribble.
Millard Fribble?
Yeah, you remember him. He's the fellow with the Swing-a-Layton musical saw.
Oh, yes. Perfect for a coming-out party. When are they arriving?
Well, that's just it. They ain't.
They ain't? They aren't?
No, you see, they took an offer to play at the Buzz River Hog and Steer Auction.
They're giving up a trip to Beverly Hills for that?
Well, it is a showcase.
I see. But you still got that Luther somebody and his Ozark Jug Band.
Oh, Luther Gooch phoned to cancel, too. It seems they needed some new jugs to toot on. So they had a party, and now they got the jugs, but nobody's sober enough to play them.
What a shame.
Don't worry, we got plenty of records to play on the phonograph. You know, bluegrass, barn dance, things like that.
Well, as long as you have country music, it's a high society favorite.
Well, we got the outside decorated all right?
Oh, you've done a fabulous job. Of course, a few more corn shucks would be nice.
Well, that's fine with me, as long as your friends wouldn't feel it was too show-off.
Jed? Oh, Miss Drysdale. I was calling Jed to come see the coming-out dress that you bought for Ellie. Come on in.
That sure was nice of you, Miss Drysdale, buying that dress, fixing Ellie's hair and all.
Come on down, Ellie.
Oh, she's just perfect.
She looks just like Gertrude Lovely in the Star-Spangled Vagabond.
Ain't it a little bit flashy?
The way a girl looks at her coming-out party is all important, dictated by tradition.
You want to do everything just right.
And you have. From these decorations to having Bessie the chimp parking the cars.
All right, honey, you can change back now. Now, we just wear our regular Sunday go-to-meeting clothes, huh?
That's right. And Mr. Clampett, the big tie with the flower.
I didn't know you was fond of it.
Oh, yes. Well, everything seems to be in order, so I'll be running along. If you need any more help before the party, just call me.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Drysdale.
Yes, thanks, honey. You've been awful sweet.
It was my pleasure. I just want to be sure that Beverly Hills Society gets the proper impression.
I don't care about that. Just so Ellie gets the proper fella.
I can't get over how she's helped us with this coming-out party.
Sweet as sugar. Ain't tried to change one thing that we done. And do you know, it was her suggested bobbing for apples and having a sack race.
Just goes to show you that when it comes to having a good time, folks is folks. Either high society or a bunch of stump jumpers like us. Wonder who that is.
She double-crossed me. She hasn't changed a thing.
Oh, hi, Mr. Drysdale, Miss Jane.
Just couldn't wait till tonight, huh?
Really looks nice, don't it? Well, your wife sort of needed a few more corn shucks around.
She's been nice as pie to us. Even bought Ellie a beautiful red dress and...
Red?
all covered with fringe and spangles and such. Says all coming out gals wears them.
Of course, everybody else just wears Sunday go to meeting.
Don't worry about splashing gopher gravy on your good clothes. We've given everybody their own bib.
Drive back to the office, Miss Hathaway.
But, Chief,
Drive.
Excitement just too much for him, huh?
yes, that's it.
Well, see you tonight.
Come early, stay late.
Bye.
Just wait till I get my hands on Margaret. Look at this guest list. Everybody from Society Sandy to Phil the dry cleaner.
Prince Filippo de Ragatini.
Either way, they're all going to think the Clampetts are a bunch of hicks. Why, these social lions will eat them alive.
Well, it looks as though your wife has won. The party's tonight.
We've got to do something. Ellie Mae's coming out will look like a masquerade ball.
Chief, that's it. Give me the guest list and let's start phoning.
What are you talking about?
A society first. A masquerade coming out party.
All right, but it better work. Or there's going to be a giant going-away party. For the Clampetts' money, my wife, and you.
Well, Chief, it worked. Society's having a wonderful masquerade party.
Yes. But I hope nobody tells Mr. Clampett he won first prize for the best costume.
Never find out what we did. By the way, where's your wife?
At home, she couldn't make it.
Really, what happened?
I locked her in the closet.
Well, Granny, they all seem to be having a high old time. Mr. Drysdale says the cream of society is here.
Well, if this is the cream, I'd hate to see the skim milk. Look at them. They're all a bunch of goofs.
You seem to dress them mighty peculiar, don't they?
Peculiar. Did you see that goomer wearing a sheet and a bunch of leaves in his hair?
Leaves? I thought that was a bird's nest. It ain't so much they're dressing funny, but have you talked to any of them? I asked that fella dancing with Ellie who he was, and he said Napoleon.
Well, you can't blame them for acting strange, as sick as they are.
What you mean?
Miss Drysdale said everyone on the guest list was a blue blood.
Clampett, Granny, I want you to meet Society Sandy.
Well, howdy there.
How's your sore throat, honey?
I beg your pardon?
Just can't shake it, huh?
You pussycats have really done it. You know, these Tootsies have danced at a lot of coming-out parties, but this one beats them all. It's the most original and inventive I've ever seen.
Well, thank you, but by rights, the credit belongs to you and our dear friend, Miss Drysdale.
Well, it's a great party, and you have a lovely daughter. And I hope I see a lot of you in the future.
Well, Mr. Lady Killer, you sure set Miss Society Sandy on her ear.
What you talking about?
Well, she seemed quite anxious to get to know you better. I mean, she ain't gonna have that sore throat forever.
Forget it, Granny. It don't bother me that she ain't too pretty in the face and dresses funny and totes a stick with a ribbon on it. But I just don't think I could warm up to a woman that smokes a cigar. Hey, it ain't even daybreak yet.
Earl, did you have to crow this early?
You did fine, Earl. The early bird catches the worm. When we plow up that front yard out there, you're going to be up to your wishbone in them. You'll start plowing the first light of daybreak. Shame on you. City living has made you soft and lazy. Now get to your feet before the whole morning is wasted. It's already past 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock's powerful early.
No, not when you have the whole front yard to plow, and corn to plant, and taters, and turnips, rutabagas, and onions, and oats, and barley, and watermelon.
All right, Granny, all right. Now, you get in the kitchen and get some breakfast on the table, and we'll be in directly.
See that you do.
Let's eat us a good big breakfast, Jethro, because you and me are going to be pulling that plow.
Paul?
No, Ellie, now, I know you're strong and you're willing, but this here is Beverly Hills, and just wouldn't look right for a young, pretty girl to be pulling the plow.
No, Ellie. Uncle Jay, what Ellie's trying to tell you is that we went out last night and got a mule to pull that plow.
You did?
Well, yeah, like you were saying, this here is Beverly Hills, and we got to keep up appearances. Where is it? Well, it's tied to that big tree out back.
Well, Jethro, he didn't look too happy there, so I bedded him down.
Good girl, Ellie.
I didn't see no mule laying on the floor. Couldn't have seen a mule laying on the floor. There ain't no mule to see.
How's it going, Granny?
Oh, just fine, just fine. Jed, did you notice anything unusual about the kitchen this morning?
Nope. Unless you mean that mule sleeping on the floor over there.
Oh, praise be, Jed. I thought I was having visions. Who brought him in here?
You know as well as I do who's always bringing outdoor critters indoors.
Well, see if you can get him back outdoors again. I don't cotton to mules laying around my kitchen. Tain't neat.
I take care of him. Now then, young feller, if you'll just come along with me quietly.
Don't rile him, Jed. I got kicked by a mule once. I want to tell you, it's smart.
Granny, can I help you?
You can help your pa get that mule out of here.
You sure can. You won't move for me.
Well, y'all just stay here and I'll talk to Nelson.
Nelson?
Come on, Nelson.
If she could just talk to folks the way she talks to critters, we'd have us a politician in the family.
Get that mule bed out of here and wash up for breakfast, all of you.
Looks like a good, strong mule, Jethro. I hope he's broke the plow harness.
He's taking to it real good, Uncle Jed. I bet you we can plow up that whole front yard before noon.
They wouldn't. They might.
Well, come on, let's get around front with the plow.
They are.
Haul, mule, haul, haul, yes.
Mr. Craven! Mr. Craven, wait!
Pa and Jethro's bringing the plow. Want me to stick the rest of these in the ground for you?
Yes, Ellie. This being the dark of the moon, we'll plant the things that grow underground first, like our taters and our turnips and our onions and our beets and our radishes. Then comes the light of the moon, and we'll plant our corn and our beans and our tomatoes. I spoke too fast. He ain't only willing, he's anxious.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale. Is them your work clothes?
So, Ellie, and just because you're such a nice neighbor, I'm going to let you plow the first furrow. But unless you've got tough feet, you better put on some shoes.
Granny. Ellie. Please.
He is anxious. I'll go see what's holding up the men folks with the plow.
It ain't no use, Uncle Jed. This here mule's done made up his mind. He gonna sit for a spell.
Yeah, knowing mules like I do, we might as well set for a spell, too.
You know something, Uncle Jed? He's smarter than us. This sitting beats plowing any old day.
No wonder we ain't getting any work done. I ought to take a switch to the three of you, sitting back here hiding and loafing.
He's the one that's loafing. Ain't a thing we can do till he gets his fill.
I'll see about that. Here, Jethro. Mr. Mule, what did Ellie call this thing?
Nelson.
Mr. Nelson? Nelson? Now, you get up off of your big fat tailgate and commence to pulling that plow, you hear?
It's gonna be a real battle of wills.
I'm betting on the mule.
I ain't so sure. If there's anything muleier than a mule, it's Granny.
Granny? Granny?
Ellie Mae, you busted the spell. Another minute and I'd have had that fella Buff alone.
What's the trouble, Ellie?
Mr. Drysdale said if we go to plowing up that front yard, a whole neighborhood will come storming over.
Well, that's dandy. We got enough work for all of them.
Well, I think you better have a talk to him, Granny. Sure is stirred up.
All right, but you get that mule on his feet.
Nelson balking again, is he?
That's a fact.
Hey, Ellie, what'd you say to that there mule?
You wouldn't understand, Jethro. It's mule talk.
I bet your Granny'd understand it.
Hold on there! What are you doing?
Granny, you can't grow things like turnips and onions here in front of the house.
That's That's turnip and onion soil if I ever tasted it.
You can't grow anything. There's a zoning ordinance here.
Now you tell me. I already swallowed it. Bless you.
Thank you. Granny, you don't
Bless you again. You better get some shoes on your feet.
Hi, Mr. Drysdale. Hey, Ellie got the mule up, Granny, and Uncle Jed will be here with the plow directly. Bless you.
Oh, I've got to get home and get some clothes on or I'll catch pneumonia. Promise me you won't do anything until I get back.
I've waited as long as I'm going to wait. Jethro, you take him in the house and put some shoes on him and some dry clothes.
Okay, Granny. Come on, Mr. Drysdale.
No!
Hey, you better never say no to Granny unless you hide one standing.
Drysdale or no Drysdale, I say let's commence plowing.
Well, you promised him he could dig the first furrow, Granny.
I reckon that is a thrill for a city feller. We can wait a mite longer.
Yonder comes some more help.
What in the name of Secretary Freeman are you doing?
We're fixing to plow and plant. What does it look like we're doing?
That's what it looks like you're doing. Oh, thank goodness I got here in time.
You city folks are willing, but you sure don't know how to dress for plowing.
Does Mr. Drysdale know about this?
Oh, yeah, we was waiting for him to plow the first furrow.
And we ain't gonna wait much longer.
Granny, yonder he come.
Don't start it! Don't start! Don't start it! Don't start!
It is Mr. Drysdale.
I reckon he ain't done much plowing or he wouldn't be so all-fired anxious.
Miss Hathaway, I'm glad to see you.
But Chiefy, you can't plow up this front lawn. There's a zoning ordinance here.
I figure a little fertilizer will take care of that.
Have you taken leave of
Oh,
your...
shut up! I have no intention of plowing up this lawn, nor of allowing the Clappers to do it.
What did you say?
Now, Granny, Mr. Clampett, let's all go into the kitchen, sit down, have a nice cup of coffee, and talk things over, eh?
That's a city farmer for you. He ain't turned one spoonful of dirt, and already he's tired.
Mr. Clampett, as your friend and neighbor, I beg you, I implore you, let me explain the whole thing.
Well, while you two are jawing, I'll be plowing. Ellie Mae, pull up them markers. I'm going to start to work. Giddy up, Mule! Ha! Let's go! Here he goes again. Ellie Mae, get that Beverly Hills jackass on his feet.
Should I, Pa?
Well, Mr. Drysdale seems right in earnest. Reckon a little confab first won't hurt nothing.
Granny, may I give you a lift to the door?
Yeah, take them. These the lazy ones.
Well, now, as I was saying, that piece of ground out front is the best on the whole place for gardening. It's nice and level. It's got no stumps or brush to clear. It's handy to the house, and it's handy to the street. So as Granny can set up a little stand and sell some of the stuff she growed. Well, I reckon Mr. Drysdale got up a mite too early for a city fella. Ellie Mae, give him some more coffee.
Mr. Clampett, your neighbors in this lovely and exclusive section would never accept such action. They would originate petitions. They would bring legal proceedings. They would take every means to protest vigorously and vociferously.
You mean to get him riled?
Exactly.
Well, now, we sure don't want to do nothing to rile the neighbors, but Granny's powerful set on plowing and planting that piece of land out front.
Mr. Clampett, I will explain to Granny that in addition to the aesthetic depreciation and the local hostility that would obtain, the net results in volume of produce weighted against value per acre would make the entire venture economically unfeasible.
Well, if you're going to explain it to her that way, I might just as well start plowing.
You gonna tell Ellie to get that mule up, or am I gonna have to start turning that ground by hand?
Granny, just bank your fire for a minute.
Ain't you done jawing yet?
No, not quite.
What time is it?
Almost straight up for 9 a.m.
Hear that, Jed? We've done wasted the whole day.
Hey, pour your Granny a cup of coffee.
You want to do your granny a favor? You get that four-legged friend of yours to pull in the plow, like he was paid his bucket of oats to do.
Granny, I dancing without Pa tells me it's all right to do.
Are you going to tell her?
Not right this minute. Now, sit down.
Setting is for hens, not for farmers. Now, I'm going out there and look that mule in the eye till he does my will. And I want to warn you, Jed Clampett, you're going to own a mule with a powerful headache and a broke spirit.
I hope your field trip idea works. That little woman out there is harder to convince than a bank examiner.
Don't worry, Chief. I shall carry the message to Garcia, or in this case, to Granny.
Well, I'll change clothes and get down to the bank. Lots of luck.
Now then, shall we put Granny in the front seat with me?
Well, I kind of favor the back seat twixt Jethro and me. I figure maybe we got the best chance of holding her in the car.
Yeah, because Granny ain't going to take this sitting still.
That's a fact.
Well, I got her hat and her reticule. Granny won't go no place without she totes her reticule.
How far is it to the place we's going, Miss Jane?
Oh, it's about an hour's drive from here.
That's going to take considerable holding.
It sure is, because right out there is two of the stubbornest critters that ever faced off.
You're getting a headache. You're getting a headache. You better, because I sure am.
Come on, Granny, we's all going for a ride.
Well, if that don't take the roof off in the barn, loafing isn't bad enough. Now it's joyriding on plowing day.
It ain't exactly joyriding, Granny. We got something to show you.
Indeed we have, Granny. This will be a ride you'll never forget.
That's for sure, because there ain't going to be no ride to remember.
The pleasure is considerable if you come, Granny. Miss Jean's going to show us all about gardening and crop raising.
That'll be the day when a city woman can show me.
Jethro, I reckon in order to save time and palaver, you'd best fetch Granny along.
Granny, you know I got to do whatever Uncle Jed says.
Now, you have yourself a good time till we get home. There's lots of food and water, and you can go for a swim in the cement pond if you want to.
Show you how unnecessary it is to plow and plant. Look out there. These people make farming their life's work. By their efficiency and modern methods, they raise better crops and more of them than you and I could ever hope to.
Speak for yourself, city woman.
Now, there ain't nobody so wise that they can't learn something new.
Well, don't expect me to learn them. Look at them, planting corn at the dark of the moontime. I'd like to see their faces when nothing comes up.
Granny, the modern farmer is so efficient that each one feeds 28 people.
Now, you hear that, Granny? You don't want to put men out of work with families that big.
How come we stopping here, Miss Jane?
We's only a half a mile from home.
We got plowing to do.
Granny, ain't you convinced yet?
Precisely why I stopped you, Mr. Clampett. I have something else to show Granny, and I think you'll find it very rewarding.
What's that mean?
I think it means you're going to get a reward.
In that case, get out of my way.
Now, Granny, while the others are exploring the rest of the market, I want to show you how unnecessary it is to plant a garden. Look, could you grow a watermelon like that?
That's a watermelon?
Yes.
Back home, that'd be a cucumber.
Serious.
But I must admit that's the biggest cocklebur I ever did see.
Granny.
I'd sure hate to comb a mess of them out of a mule's tail.
Granny, this is a pineapple all the way from Hawaii. In fact, there are fruits and vegetables here from all over the world. Come on. Ah. You know what this is?
It looks like a hairy hickory nut. It's looking back at me.
This is a coconut from the Philippine Islands. And over here are bananas from Central America. And here are nuts from South America.
Well, that's one thing they don't have to bring to California. Nuts.
Granny, you just won't take me seriously, will you?
Well, everything's so mixed up out here. It's got me discombobulated. Now, everybody knows that you plant turnips on July the 25th. But out here, you can't tell the difference twixt July and October.
Well, why bother to plant them all when the best in the world are here at your fingertips? Look at these turnips.
Well, now you got me beat. I once growed a double turnip, but I never pulled 4 out of one hole.
Well, Granny, how'd you like the trip?
I liked it fine.
Wasn't that supermarket an eye-opener?
Best riddle store I ever did see.
Wonderful.
Now let's get busy and start plowing.
Granny, I thought you done give up the idea of growing your own victuals.
I did, till I went through that thing they call the checkout stand where you pay for what you got.
Well, I went through one of them. I thought it was pretty fair.
Well, by dingies, when I can't buy a sack of victuals for $5,000, then I'm going to start growing my own.
$5,000?
Cold cash, my life savings. I handed that girl $5,000 and she handed it back to me. Said it wouldn't buy nothing.
Well, no wonder, Granny. It's Confederate.
So am I.
Ellie Mae! Ellie Mae! One of you cats has got her kittens in my nightgown drawer. Dead! Dead! Dead!
Matilda, I told you to keep your young'uns in my room. Come on now, I'll help you tote them back.
What's all the commotion, Granny?
I thought you told Ellie to keep her critters outdoors.
I did.
Well, there's a whole cat family bedded down in my chiffonier.
Now, Granny, you sure?
Come see for yourself. They're sleeping on my best nightgowns. I ain't got nothing against cats nor kittens neither. But them nightgowns is from a hope chest.
Hope chest?
Well, like the feller says. No skillet's so battered you can't find a lid for it.
All right, now, Granny, where was it you say you seen them kittens?
Right there before your... Well, it was here. I seen them. A mama cat and 3 young'uns.
Granny, I had a dream like that myself last night. I dreamed about this great big buck deer.
I didn't dream them pussy cats. I seen them.
All right, Granny. Now, why don't you make some coffee, and I'll finish getting dressed, and I'll see you in the kitchen.
I don't see no kittens. Ain't none in here. Just a vision. I didn't know that was a vision. I'd swear he had his claws in my leg.
Morning, Granny.
Morning, Jethro.
Where'd all the kittens come from, Granny?
You seen them too?
Sure.
Whole bunch of them?
Yeah.
Different colors?
That's right.
All playing together on the floor?
Yep. Excuse me, Granny. I gotta go get the milk.
You do that, boy, and I'll put the kittens out.
Yes, ma'am.
You're cute little rascals, but you don't belong in the... Oh, no.
Granny, you get the coffee made?
I started to, Jed, but I figured I'd best put the kittens out first.
More kittens, huh?
You see them, don't you?
Oh, yeah, of course I do.
Please put them out for me, Jed, whilst I make the coffee.
Oh, I don't think they're going to bother us.
Please, Jed, put them out for me.
Okay.
Cute little things, ain't they?
You're nothing cuter.
I'll be sure you get them all.
I will. Now you hurry with the coffee. There. I think I got them all. I didn't leave any, did I?
Did you get the cute little striped one?
Yep, got him right here.
Oh, yeah. He's got sharp claws. He was hanging on my leg.
Uh-huh. All right. Here they go. Get out there.
Morning, Granny. What you doing, Paul?
Oh, I'm putting out the kittens. We had a house full of cats this morning.
Gee, I'm sorry about that, but I just had to fetch him inside last night.
What was that? You brung cats into the house.
Now, Granny, please don't get mad.
Mad, I'm gonna kiss you. I thought my load had shifted.
I put him out again just now.
Well, tell me, why did you bring them in last night?
So they wouldn't get stole.
Stole?
Yes, sir. The fellow on the radio last night said the Beverly Hills folks is being robbed by a cat burglar.
Hey, everybody. The milkman says to be on the lookout for the cat burglar.
Yeah, we were just talking about him.
Boy, I sure hope he comes here. Them cats always chase me clean around the house trying to get to this milk.
He hadn't better come here.
Well, we could sure spare a few.
Now, young'uns, there's a right way and a wrong way of getting things, and I don't hold with thieving.
Well, I'm going to set a trap for that rascal just in case.
Reckon he'll show up here, Uncle Jed?
Well, with our bait, I'd say there's a real good chance.
Morning, Miss Hathaway.
Oh, good morning, Chief. I presume you've heard about the cat burglar?
Yes, it's terrible. I understand he's still at large.
That's right. He's gotten away so far with more than $250,000.
$250,000? I wonder where he banks.
But, Chief, surely you wouldn't...
Oh, I was joking. This man's a real menace. He's got to be stopped.
Well, he's extremely clever. He seems to ferret out the richest homes in the richest neighborhoods.
I know what you're thinking, and have no fear. I personally am going to spend the next few nights at the Clampetts.
Well, it's very brave of you, Chief, but it seems to me the Clampetts are well protected. They have dogs, they have guns, they're alert and utterly fearless.
I know. That's why I'm staying with them.
Well, but surely you're not going to leave your wife alone and unprotected.
Of course not. She's in Boston. If my wife were home, I wouldn't think of leaving the house. That woman could scare away any burglar.
Chief.
Have you ever seen her in curlers with cold cream all over her face?
But if you're going to stay at the Clampetts, who is going to guard your house at night?
I'm glad you asked. Now, try and get a little nap during your lunch hour.
Oh, no, I'm not paid for any such hazardous duties.
Relax. I'm not asking you to do anything hazardous. Just be a guest in my beautiful house for a few nights. You know, keep a few lights going.
Well, will there be any extra money involved?
Don't be silly. You can stay there for nothing.
You're all hard, Chief. But if you want my advice, you'll hire someone to guard both places.
Why? You just said the Clampetts were well protected.
So they are. But to any burglar, it's got to look like an ideal setup. They go to bed early, they turn out all the lights, and they are known to have $50 million.
$50 million.
I'll get it, Uncle Jed. Howdy.
Hello, Mr. Clampett.
No, sir. My name's Jethro Bodine.
Oh, well, I'm Mike Wilcox, Sterling Detective Agency.
You're a detective?
That's right.
So am I.
Really?
Well, pretty near the same. I'm a double-knot spy.
Oh. Well, say, this is a real honor, Jethro.
Thank you. You on a big case?
Just routine. I've been hired to protect the neighborhood against the cat burglar.
Hey, yeah, we heard about him. Can I help you?
Gee, that's terrific, Jethro, but this is pretty tame stuff for a double-knot spy.
Well, that's okay. I ain't been too busy lately. I haven't had many calls for double-knot spying here in Beverly Hills.
Okay, we'll work together.
Hot dog!
You can start off by showing me around the place.
You don't have to worry about the cat burglar coming around here. We's ready for him.
You are?
Heck yeah! My cousin Ella May set traps all over the place, inside and out.
How about showing them to me? Might give me a few ideas.
Okay. Let's see. I gotta remember where they are. I think the first one's in the kitchen. Follow me. I was wrong. This here's the first one.
Jethro! Get out of my snare!
I didn't get in here on purpose, you dumb old girl. Oh, Mr. Wilcox, this here's my cousin Ellen, and this here's my granny.
Howdy.
How do you do?
Howdy, young feller.
How do you do?
What in tarnation is going on?
Oh, Mr. Wilcox, this here's my Uncle Jed.
How do you do?
Pleased to meet you.
Mr. Wilcox here's a detective looking for the cat burglar. I was showing him some of Ellie's traps.
Can you just point to him?
I'll show you the rest of it.
Hey, wait a minute, Ellie. Get me down out of this thing.
Okay, Jethro, just a second.
Granny, you got something for a headache?
So,
Good-looking young fella, ain't he, Granny?
downright handsome what he is.
So when I heard about this cat burglar on the radio, I figured he'd be coming here because we got so many.
So many what?
Cats.
You think the cat burglar...
We think he's lowering a snake's belly in a wagon rut. Like Granny said, if he wants a cat, let him knock at the door and ask.
I see. The whole family.
Oh, yeah. Pa says stealing cats is pretty near worse than being a chicken thief.
I agree.
You like cats, huh?
I love them. That's why I asked for this assignment. I'm going to make sure that the cat burglar gets everything that's coming to him.
Good for you. When he comes here, he's good as caught, because I got traps all over the place.
Just a minute, Ellen May. What are you doing?
Well, I'm fixing to show Mr. Wilcox another trap.
I'll do that. I'm the one that's working with him on this case. Now, where is it?
Out yonder in the grass, where that sausage is sitting. You see, it'll have milk in it, and cats will be drinking out of it.
I'll show you, Mr. Wilcox.
Be careful, Jethro.
Don't worry. A double knot never gets caught twice. If there's a snare hidden in this grass, I'll... Aha! I found it!
That is a beauty.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Come on.
Well, that's how it works, Mr. Wilcox. Okay, Ellie, you can let me out now. Ellie Mae? Mr. Wilcox! Uncle Jim! Granny!
I believe this is the only room you ain't had to look at.
And I don't see none of Ellie's traps in here.
Well, she's pretty good at hiding them. Do you mind if I have a closer look?
No, just help yourself. We's mighty beholden to you if we're trying to catch that cat burglar.
Well, to me, Mr. Clampett, any man that would steal cats is, well, he's lower than a snake's belly in a wagon rut.
By doggies, young fella, we sure see eye to eye on that. Oh, would you excuse Granny and me for just a minute?
Certainly.
Where's Ellie?
Changing into a dress.
He's gonna get away if she don't get stirred.
I'll stall him. You stir her. So you found that, did you?
Oh, I was just happening to move this.
That's how I happen happened onto it, but you're wasting your time. I've been 4 years trying to get this radio to work.
Radio?
I have stood here for hours, twisting this little dial. Can't even get static. No wonder they covered it up with this picture. One of these days, I gotta have this fixed.
Oh, Granny, by the way, there is something I ought to warn you about.
What's that?
Well, sometimes these cat burglars take other things.
Really?
Mm.
You reckon they'd take a possum or two, or maybe a raccoon?
No, what I meant is that sometimes they take valuables, jewelry, even money.
Land sakes. I got all the family jewelry up in my room. Lots of money, too.
In a good, safe place, I hope.
Oh, yeah. I reckon even a cat burglar wouldn't want to go poking through a woman's nightgown drawer.
I'm sure you're right. Well, I've got to be going.
Now, wait a minute. Ellie Mae!
I can't find that girl no place. She ain't in her room.
Well, Mr. Wilcox is going to get away. I mean, he's got to leave.
You called me, Granny?
Yeah. Where you been?
Setting more traps. You want to see him?
Well, I got to report back to headquarters.
Well, maybe Mr. Wilcox can come back here and take supper with us tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I could, but I'm going to be pretty busy guarding the neighborhood against the cat burglar.
Well, if he comes here, he's as good as caught. I got a dandy new trap out front.
Well, if we should catch him, where do we get a hold to? Like you to have the credit?
Oh. Well, I'll...
Yeah! We got him! Jethro, stop springing my triumph!
You didn't tell me it was here.
Come on, Granny. If you hold me, I think I can cut him down from the upstairs window.
This is a real beauty. Congratulations, Ellie.
Thank you.
Well, I'll see you around, Jethro. My ride's coming.
Hey, wait a minute. You're going to take me with you, ain't you?
Not this time.
But you said you needed somebody smart.
Yeah, I know.
Well, here I am. Where else are you going to find a fellow with my kind of brain?
I don't know. See you around. Bye, Ellie.
Bye.
Get going. This job is going to be a piece of cake. With nuts.
I got your room all ready for you, Mr. Drysdale. Do you need the loan of a nightshirt?
Well, thank you, Granny, but I brought some things.
That sure is neighborly of you.
Well, you know how it is. With this cat burglar on the prowl, I just feel it's safer here. You know, with me around to help protect the place.
Oh, we're being pretty well protected. Ellie's got traps set, and Jethro's out keeping watch.
And there's Mr. Wilcox.
Oh, who's he?
That young, good-looking detective.
Oh, Miss Hathaway must have hired him.
Well, that does it. Time to turn in.
Yeah, come on.
Well, it's 7 o'clock.
Yeah, way past our bedtime, too. I'm sure it sneaks up on you when you're playing checkers.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to stay up a little longer.
It's been dark better than an hour.
Well, maybe he's a mite upset on account of the cat burglar. You can stay up as long as you like, Mr. Drysdale. 8, 9 o'clock if you want. Good
night.
See you in the morning.
Mr. Babbitt, Granny, wait for me.
Everything's quiet. Let's move in.
Mike, it's too early.
They're asleep. Believe me. Just follow the plan.
Okay.
Jed, hurry up. Come on.
What is it, Granny?
I hear the noise. It's probably the cat burglar.
More than likely a cat. Just found this one in my bed. I don't know how many more Ellie's got stashed around.
This noise came from downstairs, and it was no pussycat neither.
I don't hear nothing.
What y'all doing?
Granny thinks she heard a burglar downstairs.
Want me to go down and grab him?
No, you get back in bed.
Well, I can't.
Why not?
Well, it's full of cats.
Get into my bed. Jed and me's going downstairs and look around. Ain't we, Jed?
Sooner or later. Might as well be now. Look at a lantern. It's that detective.
He's still trying to get something on that busted radio.
He's opened up the front of it.
That sweet boy. He's fixing it for me.
In the dark.
He wants it to be a surprise. Let's not spoil it.
Reggie, let's find a nice of him. But he ought to be out looking for the cat burglar. He's liable to lose his job.
Ow! I got you. Now let's go.
Ow! Ow! Let go!
Pal, Granny, I caught the cat burglar.
Hold on, young fella. Ellie just caught the cat burglar for you.
Forget about that busted radio. You sweet boy.
I caught him dead to rights, Granny. He was opening up your nightgown drawer.
He was?
Yeah. Hilda had her kittens in there again.
Ain't there no place you varmints won't go for cats?
Cats?
Take him in, too, Mr. Detective.
You bet I will. You're coming to headquarters, cat burglar.
Did I hear somebody say the cat burglar was caught?
Yep, Ellie nabbed him, and this fine young detective is taking him in.
Well, by George, I had a feeling it'd strike here. That's why I insisted on spending the night.
Hey, everybody, I caught the cat burglar! Mr. Drysdale, I found him skulking around your backyard, so I threw a blanket over him, and here he is.
But Jethro, I caught the cat burglar.
Well, then, who's this?
Miss G, you let Jethro carry you all the way to my house. Why didn't you say something?
Chief, you foolish man.
Put her down, Jethro. What were you doing prowling around my yard anyway? You hired a detective.
No, I didn't.
And who are these?
They got away.
Sure thing, huh? Pushover, huh? Piece of cake, huh?
Oh, shut up and quit rocking the net.
I'm just getting rid of a few of these ants here.
I don't say no, I.
Oh, done a good job tonight.
Sure did. And as a reward, I'm going to give you a double helping of what I just cooked.
Oh, Ellie, I don't think I'm up to eating a full meal right now. Why don't you just heat me up a can of that fine tomato soup that's in there in the cupboard?
Oh, but I fixed you a special treat that I made up all by myself. I call it my surprise loaf.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, Ellie, I just thought of something. Jethro's going to be awful hurt if I eat without him. I'll go find the boy.
Oh, Jethro ain't here. He took the truck and left.
When did you do that?
Well, I think it was right after I told him I was going to cook a surprise loaf.
More than likely.
That's right, operator. She's at the Shady Rest Hotel in Petticoat Junction. But the nearest phone is at Sam Drucker's store in Hooterville. Thank you. Bye. They's going to get a message to Granny to come to town and call.
Hi, Granny.
Howdy, Mr. Drucker. Did you send for me?
Well, yeah, Granny. How'd you get here so fast?
I run. It's only 6 miles.
Why didn't you catch the train?
I did. I caught it and I passed it.
Sarah? This is Sam. Sarah, Granny's here now, so you can get a hold of that Beverly Hills operator and have her call us back, huh? Thanks, Sarah. Well, Granny, how's Betty Jo's baby?
Oh, just fine and dandy. Now.
Now? Was something wrong?
Something wrong. Mr. Drucker, what I done for that baby is a miracle. A medical miracle.
What was wrong? What did you do?
Oh, sorry, I can't tell you. That would be violating the confidence betwixt the patient and the doctor.
Oh.
I wish I could tell you, but me being a physician, my lips are sealed. You understand?
Oh, of course.
But it was one doozy of a miracle. Now, if you was another doctor, I could tell you. Have you ever been a doctor?
No.
Ever been a patient?
Oh, yeah.
Oh! Well, then I won't be violating the confidence betwixt the doctor and the patient. Mr. Drucker, in all my 60 years of doctoring, I have never been so shook up as I was the first time I peeked into that crib and saw Betty Jo's baby. It looked for all the world like an Airedale puppy. Sakes alive. And I thought Jethro was an ugly baby.
You say it looked like an Airedale puppy?
And not even the pick of the litter. But I brought it back to normal with my miracle medicine.
Say, Granny, as I remember, you left your spectacles in Andy Partner's jitney, so it just could be...
Do you think I need these? I got eyes like a hawk. I only use them for professional reasons. Folks don't trust a young-looking doctor.
I'll bet that's your call from Beverly Hills.
I'll get it. Hello?
Granny?
Yeah, this is Granny. Who's talking?
This is Sam Drucker, but...
It ain't neither. Sam Drucker's right here with me. Your other phone's ringing.
Thanks, I'll get it.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Oh, yeah, right here, Sarah. Granny, it's your call from Beverly Hills.
Well, you take this phone and tell that smart aleck that it's against the law to play pranks on doctors and firemen.
I'll do that.
Hello?
Hello, Granny. This here's Jethro.
Speak up, boy. We got a bad connection.
Oh, no, you don't. Now, I got strict orders from Sam not to let you loose in the store. Now, come here. Come on. Last time you went through a whole sack of dog biscuits, remember?
Hello?
Hello, Granny?
Oh, thank you. That's a better connection.
Hi, Sam. Granny?
Well, if it isn't a proud father.
Say, did those things come in that we ordered for the baby?
Yeah, they're in the back. How's Betty Jo?
Oh, she's fine. The baby had a bad night.
Oh?
Yeah, started howling about 3 this morning, kept it up till dawn.
Poor little thing reverted. Must have been a full moon last night.
Granny!
Huh? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jethro. What do you want?
You gotta come home and cook for us. We need you something desperate.
Not as desperate as they need me here. Cooks are a dime a dozen. But where can the parents of that poor, blighted baby get another miracle-working doctor?
Hey, come on back here.
Wait, little baby, wait! That little goomer might be homely, but it's the fastest crawler I've ever seen.
Now, here's what I want in the telegram. Please, Granny, rush home at once, or you'll find your family starved to death.
Or even worse. And sign that Jed Clampett. Thank you.
Jethro, I think I have the solution to your food problem. This is an employment agency where you can hire maids, cooks, and all domestic help.
Well, Miss Jane, I think you done saved my life. How can I thank you?
As the poet says, with hugs and kisses debts are paid when settling score twixt man and maid.
Hot dog! I'll be sure and hire a pretty one.
Paul, how come you taking so long to eat that tomato soup?
Well, I hear that eating slow has certain benefits.
But if you don't hurry, you ain't gonna never get to my surprise loaf.
There's one.
Well, get ready. Here it comes.
Well, doggy. So that's your surprise loaf.
Yes, sir. Made it especially for you.
How about that?
Well, go ahead. It's waiting for you.
So it is. Innocent looking. Interesting looking, ain't it?
Yeah, slice yourself off a hunk.
All right. Oh, this blade could stand a mite of honing.
Carl, you got a hole in your shoe.
Yeah, so I have. Hey, I better rush right out to my workbench and half sole that rest.
Oh, you can do that after you eat your surprise loaf.
Oh. You know, that'd look good with some parsley on it. Why don't you run out and pick some?
Okay, Paul, I'll hurry.
No, take your time. Don't snatch it up by the roots. Works dandy. That's what you call real soul food.
Jed! Uncle Jed!
Out here in the kitchen, Jethro.
Uncle Jed, have I got a surprise?
I don't think I can stand another one today.
Wait till you see her.
Her?
Miss Jane sent me to an employment agency, so I hired us an imported cook, direct from Italy.
Well, fetch her in, boy.
She don't speak much English, but I done learned Italian.
Just today?
Well, yeah. You got to remember, this is the brain of a 6th grader. Now watch. I'm gonna call her in genuine Italian. A bambina, a bringing yourself to the kitchen. So that's Italian for kitchen.
You tell.
Pick up them 4 languages just like that. Ain't she something?
Mighty pretty girl. And she can cook, huh?
Vittles is all she thinks about. Watch this. Howdy.
Ciao.
See? She must have mentioned ciao at least a dozen times today already. Senor Maria, this here's my Uncle Jed.
Howdy.
Ciao.
See? There she goes again.
Va essere un piacere lavorare per voi come cuciniere ed aspetto che ti piaccio.
What'd you say?
Oh, I ain't too sure, Uncle Jed. I don't understand Italian as good as I talk it.
Well, we's mighty pleased to have you here, Miss...
Grazie. Cio è bellissimo.
That's a mighty pretty name.
Oh, that ain't her name. That's probably something she's gonna cook for us.
Oh, Ellie, come on over and meet this young lady.
Senor Maria, this here's my cousin Ellie.
Howdy.
Ciao.
She does have vittles on her mind.
Yeah, she's gonna cook us up a storm.
Oh, what's wrong with my cooking?
Shall I tell her?
You better let me. Ellie, your cooking is in a class by itself. Ain't nobody can touch it. That's the truth. But you see, this young lady is new in our country, and she needs all the experience she can get.
Oh, well, fine. I'll learn her how to make my surprise loaf.
I believe I'd hold off on that for a spell. But why don't you take the young lady up to your room and make her comfortable?
Oh, yes, sir, Pop. Come out, Senor Maria.
We'll see you later for chow.
Oh, ciao.
What'd you do that for?
Oh, that means something in Italian. I don't know what, but they all do it.
I see.
I'll tote her suitcases up to the room.
Wonder what I just said.
Hi, honey.
Hi, darling. Got the new nursing bottles. How's the baby?
Sleeping, thank goodness. Well, hello, boy.
Honey, I wouldn't hold him. I think he's got fleas again.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's still some of that insect repellent that Granny brewed up.
Oh, yeah, what she calls her miracle medicine. Come on, boy, let's give Granny's cure another try.
Need some help?
No, no, no. You sit right here. You had a rough night.
Hello, little mama.
Hello, Granny.
I heard that you had a bad night last night.
Yes, we did. I think it was colic.
Did you say colic or collie?
Colic.
Did your husband get home with the little feller yet?
Yes, weren't you with them on the train?
No, I cut through the woods to look for some roots and some yarbs. I gotta brew up another batch of my miracle medicine.
Oh, there's still some left. Steve just went in to use it on the little flea trap.
Oh, honey, don't call that precious little darling a flea trap.
Oh, I call him all kinds of things, but I love the little mutt.
Well, there's one thing about you young'uns of today. You've got the courage to face the truth. In my day, we'd have kept him upstairs in a room with the shades drawn.
I wouldn't do that. I think he's cute.
There's nothing mightier than the power of mother love. Betty Jo, sit down, honey. I want to talk to you about your family plans. Have you and your husband thought about having any more young'uns?
Oh, yes, we want to have a large family.
In spite of what happened last night?
Oh, sure. You can't expect a baby to be perfect.
Yeah, but they don't have to miss by that much.
The way Steve and I feel, we want to have a dozen more, just like the first one.
Honey, courage is one thing, but foolishness is another.
Well, I guess a dozen was an exaggeration.
Good girl.
But at least 4 or 5.
Now you're heading in the right direction.
Look who's ready for a stroll.
Did my miracle medicine work?
Oh, it sure did, Granny.
I done it again. I mean, you done it again.
Granny, telegram just came for you.
How'd you get here, Sam?
Pumped out on a hand car.
Come on, Sam, we pumping back in.
Oh, what's the matter?
My family's starving. Take care of the baby. If it barks, give it a bone. I'll be back come the next full moon.
Do you understand what she was talking about?
Not a word. But you have to admit there hasn't been a dull moment since she came to visit.
Yeah. Someday we ought to visit her planet.
See you later, girls.
You can put that silly-looking hat back on your head. You're fired.
What for?
For leaving your desk during your lunch break.
But, Chief,
Where were you?
having lunch.
That's no excuse. Fine thing. You gorge yourself while my largest depositor starves.
Jed Clampett?
If that magnificent multimillionaire loses so much as 1 ounce, you'll spend 30 days in the vault counting nickels.
Chief.
With the lights out. I had to handle this emergency all alone.
What emergency?
Granny called here. She said she had to get home from Hooterville right away. Now, you know where Hooterville is?
No?
Neither does anyone else. Oh, I had to move heaven and earth to arrange transportation for that little woman. She's traveling by handcar, horseback, motorcycle, and a crop dusting plane out of the Napa-Sonoma Valley. pony, motorcycle, plane. Oh, boy. Do you have any idea what these travel arrangements are going to cost?
No.
Well, you will, because it's going to come out of your salary.
You fired me.
You're hired again. I can't afford a tab like this.
Chief, you brought this all on yourself by panicking. There is no emergency at the Clampetts.
What are you babbling about? Granny said they were starving.
A false alarm. I sent Jethro to an employment agency. He hired a cook, and she's there now.
Do you mean to say that Granny's going to come home and find another woman in her kitchen?
Well,
You're fired again! And I'm going right over there and fire her!
If I'm fired, how can I pay for the...
It'll come out of your unemployment check.
I declare them is just about the best victuals I ever tasted.
Me too, Pa.
I'll compliment the cook in her native language. Hey, Bambina, this stuff is what you call a delish. That's Italian for good.
Scusi. Next, dolce, tortoni.
What'd she say?
Oh, something about a friend of hers named Tony.
If you could cook like that girl, you'd have to beat the boys off of the club.
I know, Pa. I'm going to ask her to learn me how to make that vegetable soup.
That stringy stuff with the red gravy was right tasty.
Boy, are you two a couple of roots. That there soup is what you call minestrone. And the stringy stuff is what us Italians call spaghetti.
You Italian now?
I told her I was. See, I aims to marry her. Italians is kind of clannish.
Listen, young lady, you pack your things and you get over to my house.
Esisterai lei, non capisco.
Italiana.
Sì?
Oh, bene, bene, signorina. Benvenuto. Mi piace mangiare italiano. Chicken cacciatore. Ah, Joe è bellissimo.
Tante grazie. Lei è molto amabile.
Piacere. Ah, spaghettini alla marinara. Ah, molto belli.
Sta comodi per mangiare.
Grazie.
Can't this crate go no faster? I got a family down there starving to death.
We're over Beverly Hills now, landed the nearest airfield.
Ain't no time for that. I see the house down there. Thanks for the lift, Lindy. Geronimo! Hang on, you poor starving wretches. I'm almost there. I think I busted my leg. I can't let that stop me now. I gotta save my kinfolks. They's likely wasted away to skin and bones by now.
Well, I'll get it, Uncle Jim.
Poor starving devils. I hope one of them has the strength to crawl to the door and let me in.
Oh, hi, Granny. What are you doing here?
I'm here to save you.
We don't need saving. Why don't you all go back to Hooterville?
Starvation has drove him mad. He's eaten a tree limb.
Would you please pass me some more of that spaghetti?
Who was at the door?
Nobody important.
What's that gravy on it?
That ain't red grape. That's what you call marijuana sauce. Jed, I marry up with that Italian doll. You want to come live with us?
Where you aim to live?
Right here.
No, Jethro! Don't eat that boiled stream!
How'd you get here? What is all this?
My parachute. Just tote me to the kitchen and prop me up to the stove and I'll save you. You hunger-starved wretches.
We ain't hungry. We've been living high on the spaghetti.
Well, what'd you send me that telegram for? Saying you were starving?
I didn't send you no telegram.
I sent it, Granny. Signed Uncle Jed's name to it so you'd pay attention.
Why, you
miserable walking gizzard. I'm gonna beat that 6th grade brain of yours clean down to the kindergarten.
Signore, signorina, now is coming Tortoni.
Well, fine. Have Tony sit right there in Jethro's place.
Yeah, he won't be coming back for a while.
When he does, he's going to eat standing up.
Hey, Jed! Hey, Jed! You the whore? Yeah? Hey, Jed, you in there, you old mountain goat? Hey! Hey, Jed!
Dog, if that don't sound like old Leif Crick from back home.
It does for a fact. What do you suppose that no-account wants around here?
We'll soon find out.
Jed, doggone it, you come out here and let me in.
Leif!
Jed!
Well, this is a surprise.
Granny, you little old possum, you! She ain't changed a bit, has she, Jed, huh? No bigger in a minute and scrappy as a bandy hen.
Hey, look who's here.
How's there, Mr. Crick? Sure is good to see you.
Ellie Mae Clark, you're as pretty as a fistful of pink hollyhocks. Yes, sir, Jed, everybody always did say we had the 2 prettiest girls in the hills.
Hey, is Esbel with you?
You bet she is. Hey, where's Jethro?
He ain't home from school yet.
How about Morty? Bring her along?
Oh, I had to leave my woman home to do the chores, Granny. Roof needed patching, well caved in, had to be dug out, mule needed chewing, lots of little things like that. You know, we just poor gully jumpers. We don't roost high on a hill like you folks.
Esbel ain't out in the car, nor Mrs. Crick neither.
I had to leave my woman to home, Ellie Mae. And Essie Bell, she's over at the motel unpacking and purdying herself up.
Motel?
Well, Leif, we got plenty of room to take care of you and Essie Bell right here.
Well, now, Jed, you know I ain't one to trade on a friendship. Of course, after Jethro and Essie Bell's proper hitched, then we're going to be wanting to live near our kinfolk.
Hitched?
Jethro and Essie Bell?
You mean you don't know what that boy's been up to?
No, I can't say as I do, Leif.
And we's got some talking to do, man to man.
Come on, Ellie, we'll make a pot of coffee.
Yes, you got a couple of fine women folk there. I reckon you're as proud of them as I am of mine.
I reckon?
I reckon you'd want to see right done by Ellie Mae just the same as I'd want to see right done by Essie Bell.
I reckon?
I reckon you wouldn't want no young man playing fast and loose with her feelings.
I reckon?
I reckon the man's daughter's just
about
about
Leif, supposing you stop blowing on the fur and get to the hide, what are you trying to say?
Well, don't come easy saying what I got to.
Well, let's go in and sit down and give it a try.
You got yourself a regular palace here. You got... Oh, I better take off my glasses. I don't want to get you fancy coffee, old dude.
Just leave everything on, Leif, and sit down and speak your piece.
Oh, my. Sure do beat sitting on the stump now, don't it? I guess you got this here chair stuffed full of money, huh, Jed?
Yeah, Leif. Now, about Jethro and Essie Bell.
Well, to speak plain out, your Jethro done grabbed a hold to my Essie Bell's heart.
I don't recall Jethro mentioning Essie Bell's name since way last summer when she won that beauty contest.
That's when it happened.
What happened?
This happened. Love letters wrote by your Jethro to my Essie Bell.
Love letter?
Steaming hot love letters.
Someday I gotta have a long talk with that boy. Let me see the letters.
Jeb, I hadn't better. You having a purty, sweet, innocent young daughter of your own, you might just anger up to the point where you'd hurt that boy.
Jethro got out of line, did he?
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it getting out of line, providing his intentions is honorable.
These letters was wrote way last summer. How come you just getting here?
Well, now, I ain't a wallering in money like you, Jeb. I had to scrimp and save to get to where I could afford to make the trip. Why, I'm a poor man. Only treasure I got's my little Essie Bell.
All right, Leif. Not knowing what Jethro wrote, it's hard for me to speak. But I know he'll want to do the right thing, and I'll see that he does.
Spoke like a true hillman. Why, I said to Morty before I left, I said, dry your eyes, Morty. Jed Clampett's a man of honor. I says he'll see that Jethro does the right thing by our Isabel.
And I will, too, Leif. You can count on it.
Yes, sir, Jed, you sure got yourself a palace. I expect you got more money than a pig has grunts.
We's eating regular.
I expect a generous man like you's aiming to settle a heap of that money on Jethro when he gets married. Him being almost like a son to you and all.
Don't count your chickens before they're hatched, Leif Crick. I want to hear Jethro's side of this first.
Oh, you're a good man, Jed. Fair. Like I says to Isabel, I said, dry your eyes, honey. Jed Clampett's a fair man. He's going to do the fair thing. He's going to see you married fair and proper to Jethro.
And like I said to you, Leif, I
Whoever's driving that truck's mighty shy on brain.
That's Jethro.
Fine boy.
Just call me Daddy, boy.
Jethro, Leif here says that last summer you wrote some love letters to his daughter, Isabel.
Love letters? Why, it ain't nothing to be ashamed of, son. Most natural thing in the world for a handsome boy like you to write letters to a beautiful girl like Isabel. Them was fine letters, too. You should be proud on them.
Well, thank you. Well, how come she never answered them?
Well, son, right after she won that beauty contest, she must have got hundreds of letters like yours, proposing marriage and things. Well, it took her a while.
Now, hold on, Leif. Jethro, did you propose marriage in them letters?
Oh, let me think.
Well, it ain't nothing to be ashamed of, son. Most natural thing in the world for a handsome boy like you.
Now, give him a chance to think, Leif. It ain't something comes easy to him.
Love ain't nothing you think about. Love comes from the heart.
He never said he was in love with Isabel.
Well, he always was. You remember when you used to tote the books home from school? Old Mel Pratt, he took them away from you and beat you up?
Yeah, but he was twice as big as me.
Yeah, but if you was to marry Isabel now, that would sure leave old Mel Pratt drinking from an empty jug.
Yeah? Yeah.
It's something you have to decide about right now.
Well, of course you don't. You just think on it for a while. Think about how Isabel's the prettiest girl in the hills.
Yeah?
Best dancer, too.
Yeah?
How much you'd like to marry her.
Yeah!
Take on, son.
Now, wait a minute, Jethro. Think what you're doing. You sure you're ready to support a wife? Could be you'd have to quit school.
Well, hot diggity dog, then I'm ready.
I'll bring Isabel over for supper. But first you go down to one of them fancy Beverly Hills jewelry stores and you pick out a great big diamond ring.
All right, and while I'm there, I'll get something for Isabel, too.
I'll see you later, son.
Bye-bye, Miss... Bye-bye, Daddy Crick. I'm going to get married.
Someday I should have had a long talk with that boy.
Just a moment, please. I'm sure you must be in the wrong place.
Is this a jewelry store?
Well, yes, but we sell only the very finest and most expensive pieces. I suggest you try a notion store.
Jethro done got the notion what he needs now is a ring.
Hey, Uncle Jed, there's some rings over here.
Yes, but please, now, I'm sure you...
Them red diamonds is pretty.
Those are rubies.
Well, ask her if she wants to sell one.
Madam, the ruby I'm referring to is not a lady.
How she got them rings is her own business. Just ask her if she wants to sell one.
Perhaps you will understand how out of place you are when I tell you that no ring in this case sells for less than $10,000. Now, wouldn't you like to look elsewhere?
Yeah, sure, it's where you keep the good stuff.
Security guard, please.
That's right, Paul. Mr. Drysdale said we should always ask for the best.
Did I hear you mention the name Drysdale?
Yes, sir?
Milburn Drysdale?
Yes, sir?
He's our next-door neighbor.
He keeps Jed's $35 million in his bank.
Granny, I ain't sure it's $35 million no more. Might be close to 40 by now.
You got the phone in your hand. Call up Mr. Drysdale and see who's closer, Jed or me.
Stand by till I make one call. Things have been a little slow since Christmas.
Quiet place, huh, Isabel?
I'll say. Gee, Pa, this is just about the biggest place I ever did see.
Yes, sir, Isabel. You did a mighty wise thing when you decided to marry up with Jethro.
I didn't decide, Pa, you did. I didn't even answer his letters.
Well, it was a good thing I did discover those letters. You'd have been married to that no-account Mel Pratt.
Mel Pratt ain't a no account. He's a good, strong, hard-working boy.
You gotta learn to keep your mouth shut, girl. You gotta learn to keep your mouth shut, especially when there's any food around. I still can't figure out where you found victuals enough to put on all that weight since last summer.
Mel Pratt's been feeding me. He wanted me to get good and strong so I could help him clear that acre of land.
That ain't land, girl. That's rocks. If you want to marry up with a boy that's got an acre of rocks, you should at least have him cut and piled up into a fine palace like this one.
But Mel Pratt loves me, and I love him.
I don't want to hear that name no more, Isabel. You're gonna marry into the lap of luxury, girl. You're gonna wear fine clothes and jewels. You're gonna have servants to wait on your hand and foot. You're gonna have a butler running ahead of you, opening doors, all kinds of things like that.
Oh, look at that!
Stay right here now, Isabel. You don't want him to think we ain't never seen a butler before, do you?
I do hope you'll tell Mr. Drysdale how well we have treated you here. Ah, here we are. Now, this is the engagement ring.
Thank you.
You might, in a subtle way, of course, let the bride know that she is getting 10 perfect carats.
Well, that's mighty nice of you.
Nice, my foot. After the money you spent, he could at least send her a smoked ham.
And here are Madame's lovely necklace and earrings.
How many carats did I get?
About 50. But of course, they're not perfect.
Well, in that case, I'll take turnips.
And for Mademoiselle, this beautiful diamond bracelet.
Do I get some carrots, too?
Oh, yes, indeed. About 30.
You sure are generous with your vegetables.
So are you, sir. You're going to be sending me a lot of cabbage.
I am?
Yes. Cabbage is money.
Well, your store, but I'll be dogged if I see how you stay in business. Looks like Lady Finesse Bell is here.
Yee-hoo! I want to see my sweetie.
Now, Jethro, you get a hold of yourself. I don't want you running in there and picking up that little girl and scaring her half to death.
Yes, sir.
You put the truck away. I'll wait for you here. We'll all go in together like a proper family order at a time like this.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Don't be too hard on him, Jed. Now that I think back, he must be desperate in love.
What makes you think so?
For the past week, he ain't at his supper.
For Jethro, that's desperate. That boy'll eat anything that don't bite him first.
Who's that a-coming, Pa?
Looks like that Beverly Caterers.
Yeah, the young widow that cooks for folks.
Hi, is Jethro ready?
Ready for what, ma'am?
For a regular date?
Howdy, Mary. It sure is good to see you. You're right on time. Let's go.
Wait a minute, boy. You got a date with this girl?
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed. Well, every day after work, she picks me up, and we drive up into the hills and park and watch the sun go down. Then you know what we do?
Ellie Mae, go in the house. What do you do, boy?
Well, then we climb into the back of the truck and eat all the victuals that's left.
No wonder he ain't been eating his supper.
I've got your favorite today, Jethro. Swedish meatballs.
Jethro, the girl you're going to marry is waiting in the house. You can't go running off with her and leave Essie Bell.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Marion, you reckon there's enough meatballs in the truck for the three of us?
Forget it.
Here's your blushing bride. Come give her a big hug.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm looking for my sweet little old Esabel Crick from back home.
I'm right here, Jethro.
Jethro? Son? This here's Esabel.
You're Esabel Crick?
Yeah, Jethro.
Man!
Isabel, I just can't stand to watch you suffer. Ain't there anything I can do?
Yeah. Would you get me another pie out of the icebox?
There you are.
Thank you. Want some?
No, not right now. You don't appear to be too unhappy.
Oh, heck no. I like pumpkin pie as well as apple.
I mean, about Jethro running off.
Mr. Clampett, if I told you something, would you promise not to tell Pa that I told? 'Cause he told me not to tell you. And if you tell him I told, well, there just ain't no telling what he might do.
Near as I can sort out the tails and the toes, I think I can promise.
It ain't Jethro I'm in love with. It's big old Mel Pratt back home.
Well, now, tell me more of what your pa told you not to tell.
Let's have no more of this running after other girls. Ain't no boy can love two girls.
That leaves Isabel out. She's about 2 girls and a half.
Mind your tongue, Jethro. You take a girl for better or worse when you marry her.
Yeah, but she got worse before I got married.
Picture me, Leif. I'll look after Esabel.
Come on, boy. Let's start talking about this wedding.
Well, Mr. Crick...
You call me daddy now you're marrying up with my daughter.
But, Mr. Crick, I don't think I want to get married. To nobody. I want to finish the 6th grade so I can be a brain surgeon.
You should have started thinking about that before you wrote Esabel them hot, steaming letters full of love talk.
I don't remember no love talk.
You don't, huh? Now, just how'd you start them letters?
Dear Esabel.
Well, ain't that love talk, calling a woman dear?
It is. I'm in trouble with a lot of women. Men, too.
Well, Leif, I see you fetched him back all right. Now, Jethro, you can get upstairs and get packed for your honeymoon.
Oh, but Uncle Jed, I don't want
to. Get up there and do like I tell you.
Oh, yes, sir.
You're a good man, Jed. Fair.
I try to be. What do you think of my giving Jethro and Esabel my house for a wedding present?
Oh, that is fair. That is really what you call fair.
Of course, it's just a little 2-room place, but they'll make out.
well, I ain't the best at counting, Jed, but I done towed up 12 rooms since I've been here.
Oh, I ain't talking about this place. I'm giving them my little shack back in the hill.
Back to home?
Yeah, there's a half-acre land goes with it. Of course, it's mostly rocks and stumps, but a couple of strong young'uns like Jethro and Esabel have that thing cleared in 4 or 5 years.
Is that all you're gonna give them?
Oh, shucks, no. Esabel, fetch in that other wedding present I give you.
Coming, Daddy Clampett.
That's better. I always said you was a generous man. Why, just before I left home, I said to Marty, I said, why, Jed Clements, a generous man. Why, there's just no telling why he... What are you doing with him?
Daddy Clampett gave him to Jethro and me to take home with us.
You can't take him home with you. Why, folks is liable to think he's my grandson.
Well, you could tell him he's a monkey. That ought to clear it up, leastwise for some folks.
Jed, you mean you ain't gonna give the young'uns no money?
Oh, you bet I am. Here you are, Esabel. Here's a brand new penny for you to nail up over your cabin door. Ain't nothing brings you luck like a new penny.
Thank you, Daddy Clampett. Look, Pa, ain't it shiny?
You get that thing out of here. Why, you'd be better off marrying that Mel Pratt. He's got a whole acre and a nice cabin, and he's got a sow with a litter of pigs.
Now, just a minute there, Leaf. Essie Bill was promised to Jethro. While we're on that subject, let's have a look at her dowry.
I ain't got no dowry, Daddy Clampett.
Here, you don't want Jethro marry no girl without a dowry. Now, Mel Pratt, he don't care. He'll take a dowry or no dowry.
How soon's the wedding? I'm all ready to dance.
There ain't gonna be no wedding, Granny. I'm taking my Essie out of here. Come on, Essie Bill.
Now, just a doggone minute. I got all dressed up to have a wedding dance. Now, let's have it.
But she's gonna marry Mel Pratt.
Don't bother me with details. Let's get on with the wedding dance.
I sure do love my wedding presents from the Clampetts, Pa, don't you?
For a fact, I do, daughter. Always said you was a generous man, Jeff.
Forget it, Leaf. All it's gonna cost me is some cabbage.
Well, Colonel Blake. Good morning, Mr. Clampett.
How's everything down at Army Reserve?
Much better, now that I've almost finished my work on that Civil War movie.
Oh, I understand Gran and the young'uns jumped right in the middle of that battle scene you were directing. I'm awful sorry about that.
It was just a rehearsal. Besides, Granny did me a big favor when she captured General Grant. Yes, he's the producer's cousin and a terrible actor.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't let on to Granny that he was just an actor. You see, she thinks she captured the real Ulysses S. Grant.
He didn't tell her?
Well, no. You see, they had a few sips out of Granny's jug, and he wound up thinking he really was Ulysses S. Grant. Before it was over, he'd apologize for Vicksburg, give back Richmond, and promise to shoot Sherman for burning Atlanta.
Jed, it's that Yankee lover.
Now, Granny.
It's true, Jed. It was in his office that I heard General Grant planning the attack on the Culpeper plantation. And he was giving him advice.
Well, Granny, that was my job. I was,
He was outranked.
Yes, you see, I'm only a colonel, and when the general asked me for advice, it was my job to give it to him.
Now, don't go putting the blame on Yulee.
Yulee?
General Grant.
You liked him?
For a 150-year-old cigar-smoking, whiskey-drinking, south-scorching, carpet-bagging Yankee general, he ain't a bad sort.
Yes, sir. Old Grant seemed like a pretty decent sort of fella.
I paroled him, didn't I?
This has been an interesting slant on the Civil War.
What war?
He meant to say the war between the states.
It was the war between the North and the USA.
You're right, Granny, but I'm sure that Colonel Blake didn't come over here to talk about that. Let's go inside.
As a matter of fact, I came over to talk about Jethro joining the Army Reserve.
Y'all go and sit down. I'll see can I find Jethro.
Thank you.
He's a fine boy, Colonel. Strong as ox. Good scrapper, too.
That's why I want him.
You ought to have seen him at the Battle of the Culpeper Plantation. Captured a Yankee cannon, single-handed. Took a whole gun crew. Stacked them up like cordwood.
Yes, I know. I was there directing the battle.
Aha! So it was you.
Now, don't forget, I was only taking orders.
You was given orders. I know General Grant wouldn't have started that ruckus. He learned his lesson when the South whooped him the first time.
Oh, well, but...
Shame on you, goading that poor old man into another hopeless uprising.
The man said Jethro's going to town.
Good. I don't want him joining the Army Reserves nohow.
Why not?
'Cause it was them that was trying to get the North to secede again.
No, wait a minute.
I'm going to write my congressman about it, too.
Oh, no, please don't do that. I give you my word, the Army Reserve had nothing to do with Grant's attack.
I'll believe that when I hear it from Grant.
Okay, you'll hear it from the general himself. But just don't write your congressman, please. I'll see you later.
There was no call to jump the colonel like that. He seemed like a real nice fella. Besides, he's a good friend of Mr. Drysdale.
That cinches it. Any friend of General Beauregard Drysdale ain't to be trusted.
General Beauregard?
Bolton Beauregard, the coward of Culpeper Plantation.
Whatever are you talking about?
He come strutting strutting in here, wearing the gray, bragging how he'd like to meet Grant face to face, saying that his body would form a living shield to protect the flower of Southern womanhood. But when the shooting started, he turned tail and run.
Maybe he seen you didn't need him. It was just a small skirmish. Nobody hurt.
Nobody hurt. Men was falling like flies. I shot General Grant off his horse myself. If he hadn't been drinking for 150 years, it'd have killed him.
What you mean?
I hit him in that cast iron liver.
Hello?
Hello, Chicken Drysdale. This is the flower of Southern womanhood. I'm taking my money out of your bank.
I heard a noise and Chief! A 50 should do it.
General Grant.
Chief, what happened?
Granny's drawing her money out of my bank, and it's your fault.
My fault?
Whose idea was it to dress me up in a Confederate general's uniform?
Yours.
Then whose idea was it for me to lead the charge?
Yours.
But whose idea was it to retreat?
Yours.
There you see, I'm the only one around here who ever comes up with an idea. And I've just come up with another one. Oh, Granny will love me.
What is it?
I'm taking Grant's picture off the $50 bill and replacing it with Robert E. Lee.
Hello. I just got your call. I'm back in the picture, huh?
If you'll do me one little favor.
Name it.
Go talk to Granny.
Forget it.
Oh, what's the matter?
That little woman is dangerous. She wings you with her shotgun, then finishes you off with her jug.
Well, leave a heart with you. She's mad at me. She blames the Army Reserve for that battle at the Culpeper Plantation. Tell her it was you.
Well, tell her it was a movie.
Then she'll really be mad. The proudest moment of her life was when she captured General Ulysses S. Grant.
After she shot me full of ladyfingers, I'm still picking crumbs out of my back.
She threatens to write her congressman. The newspapers will have a field day.
That is your problem. I'm not going near that nutty little broad.
Well, think of the headlines. Hillbilly millionaire ambushes Army Reserve, captures General Grant.
Could I have an instant replay on that?
Ambushes Army Reserve, captures General Grant.
No, the flip side.
Hillbilly millionaire?
That's the tune. Sing some more.
Well, my friend Drysdale tells me that Clampett is worth about $60 or $70 million. And a fourth of that is Granny's.
Oh, let me have that dear little lady's address.
You'll go?
Well, after all, she captured and paroled me. As an officer and a gentleman, it is my duty to report.
What are you all gushing up about?
I got to uphold the dignity of my position. I am General Grant's parole officer.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's coming by to report.
Well, you sure gonna set his heart to something?
Oh, Jed, don't be silly. This is strictly a military matter. I captured him in battle.
Yeah, like the fella says, to the victor belong the spoil.
Well, Jed, he's pretty near 150. I don't want nothing that spoiled. Why, the poor old fella's twice my age.
Nothing wrong with that. Back in the hills, lots of girls, 13 married fellas, 26 or better.
Yeah, that's true. My goodness. When he's 200, let's see, I'll be... General, I got a problem for you.
Okay, what is it?
Let's say I'm going to marry a man 147 years old.
I'm sorry, Granny. I can't help you with that problem.
I ain't told you the problem yet.
Oh.
How old will I be when he's 200?
See, Granny, that'll take some ciphering.
Well, sit down here and get at it.
I'll get it, Granny. Oh, come in, Colonel.
Mr. Clampett?
General Grant, nice to see you again.
Good to see you, Mr. Clanton. Oh, and here is my charming conqueror, the beautiful belle of the battlefield.
Oh, did we interrupt your lunch?
Oh, my goodness. That's Jethro's pacifier.
Granny, Colonel Blake wants to talk to Jethro, so why don't you take the General and go sit in the parlor yonder?
Oh, that's an excellent idea.
General, I believe you were going to explain that the attack on the Culpeper plantation was your idea, not the Army Reserves.
Oh, that's true. I am to blame. I'm entirely at fault.
Now, don't go to faulting yourself. Let's put it this way. You still have a perfect record.
I have?
You ain't never won a battle agin the South.
Well, Colonel, boy, it's all yours. He'll make you a dandy soldier.
Oh, I know that. I saw him in action. All he has to do now is take the written test.
Well, I won't be no hell to a stepper like Jethro. He's had 12 years of school and graduated highest in his class.
I'm embarrassed to even ask him to come down and take our simple little test. What's he working on?
Oh, a little problem Granny gave me. He'll have it whooped in no time at all. Boy takes to ciphering like a mule to millet. Jethro, show the Colonel what you're ciphering.
Oh, howdy, Colonel.
Hi, sit down, sit down.
Well, we'd best start back here at the beginning.
Say, what are you using, logarithms?
Oh, no, sir. This here is a Blackbird #1. Well, we commence with the figure 200. That is 2 and 2 noughts. Funny thing about them knots, by themselves, they ain't worth shucks. But you lay them up behind a number, and them rascals is dynamite. Now then, here we is dealing with years. If we is dealing with dollars, I'd put me a dot right here and throw up 2 more noughts behind it. That'd mean I had $200, but no cents.
Did I tell you? Like a mule to millet.
Am I going too fast for you?
No, but I do have to get back to headquarters. Why don't you come along with me and we'll get you started on your qualification test.
But I ain't finished ciphering Granny's problem.
Well, that's all right, Jethro. You go along with the Colonel.
Yes, sir.
Tell General Grant I'll see him later.
You bet I will. Now, Colonel, about them tests, don't get your hopes up too high. You see, Jethro might not be as good at other things as he is at ciphering.
You're kidding.
Oh, he's got a natural gift for it.
You say he's had 12 years of schooling?
Clean through the 6th grade.
Oh, I see. 12 years, 6th grade. But he was the highest in his class.
By a good 2 feet.
Put that silver down. You gotta break yourself of them Yankee habits.
Well, I wasn't. I wouldn't.
Remember, you're on parole. One misstep and you're off to Andersonville. Now, sit down. While the sassafras tea is steeping, we'll get some of these questions out of the way.
Yes, ma'am.
Now then, since your capture, have you been plotting any more uprisings agin the South?
Oh, absolutely not.
Have you been consorting with evil companions like Phil Sheridan and Tecumseh Sherman?
Oh, bad boys. Bad boys.
Are you prepared to go to the soldiers' home and live peacefully with your wife?
Well, I don't have a wife.
Forget the old soldiers' home. Are you presently keeping company with any woman of the Northern faith?
No, ma'am.
Then, by the power that's vested in me by the Confederate government, I do hereby extend your parole for a period of 1 more week. Rise and salute the flag. One more question. Since your capture, have you partaken of any alcohol in any form?
Not a drop, just buttermilk.
Shame on you. Think of your liver.
What?
After 147 years of corn squeezins, you can't wean it overnight on buttermilk. The poor thing is laying down there between your spleen and your sweetbreads, just a panting and a puckering.
I have been very thoughtless.
Have some in your sassafras tea. Puts more sass in your frass.
Don't sit there, woman. Help your gallant wounded leader.
Chief, you can't fool Granny with those phony blood stains.
What do you mean, phony? When anyone threatens to take $15 million out of my bank, I bleed. When Granny hears the story of my heroism and sacrifice, she will garland my brow with a victory wreath.
Won't be a minute, you leave. Bolton Beauregard, what happened to you? Got caught in a barbed wire fence running from the battle?
Granny, I was executing a fast flanking movement.
That's true. You got the fastest moving flanks I ever seen.
Hear me out, dear lady. I left the scene of battle only to pursue the enemy.
What enemy?
Our common foe, that arch fiend, General Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh, you've been chasing him?
Night and day, across burning deserts, over snow-capped mountains, through raging rivers, until at last we had a rendezvous with death.
You killed him, did you?
He lies in a grave unmarked and unmourned. Though sorely wounded, I made my way back to the bank to erase from our national currency the last vestige of his evil countenance. You will notice a new picture on our $50 bill.
It's Robert E. Lee.
Our beloved leader. And that's what I was doing, ma'am, when you telephoned and so cruelly threatened to withdraw your money. It was a terrible blow.
If you think that was a blow, wait till you get this one. Oh, General!
You called, Daisy?
Well, what have you got to say now?
I believe my dear, sweet, sainted mother expressed it best when she said, Beauregard, some days it just don't pay to get out of bed.
Well, here's to your 15 million.
How do you know I had that much?
I mean, I'm toasting the people who follow you and Jeff Davis. Your faithful 15 million.
Well, up the creek and down the river, goodbye gullet and hello liver.
Oh, I'm sorry, Granny. I didn't know you had company.
Ellie Mae, you're showing your bare limbs.
I'm sorry. I was just going swimming.
There, don't scold the child. Why, she's just a baby. Healthy little thing, isn't she? I'm very fond of children.
Well, your beard tickles, General Grant.
Would you like to run through it barefooted, child?
No, she wouldn't. Go along, Ellie.
Why don't y'all come out by the cement pond? It's a real pretty day.
Wonderful idea. I love to watch children at play. Take Uncle Yuli's hand, child.
Hold it, Yuli. Ellie, run along. You know, sometimes you don't act 147.
Oh, it's just when I see a beautiful girl in a bathing suit, it makes me feel young again.
Well, why didn't you say so? I still have the bathing suit that I wore in the beauty contest at Expo 97 in Bug Tussle.
You do?
I didn't win, but I was voted Miss Good Sport. You wait here. I'll be right back. And I'll run through your beard barefooted. Daisy, you doll. You still got it. A regular siren. Wait a minute. Have mercy. That old man in there's 147 years old. What if his heart ain't as strong as his liver? Let's dish it out a little at a time. Yulie, honey, old duffer. He is fond of children.
Does your daddy ever bounce you on his knee?
Well, no, sir, General.
Call me Uncle Hewley.
You're tickling me.
Well, I'm kind of tickled myself.
That silly old man wasting his time with Shirley Temple when Theda Barrow's around. Well, don't just sit there, soldier. Say something.
Put it on. Put it on.
Come on, Granny. Let's go swimming.
No, thank you, Ellie. But the General's gonna join you.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh, yes, you are.
Come in.
Excuse me, Colonel Blake. But have you finished grading my test papers yet?
Yes,
Hey, was I the highest in the class?
by a good half foot.
Dog. Then I can join up, huh?
Jethro, fortunately, we take into consideration the amount of formal education a boy has had, and we grade on the curve so you are eligible to join.
Hey, that's swell.
However, before I administer the oath, there are a couple of things I'd like to discuss with you.
Yes, sir?
Now, let's take your application. You're going to be filling out a lot of other forms, and I want to give you a tip.
Well, thank you.
Name, address, date of birth, that's okay. But, Jethro, where it says sex, write male, not oh boy.
I'm sorry.
Now then, on your mathematics test, you at least tried to answer every question except one. I'll read it. If A leaves Chicago for Kansas City at 10:30.
Oh, you mean that trick question?
Trick question?
Sure. It didn't say A what? A bird can get to Kansas City a heap quicker than A turtle. I was too smart to bite on that.
Raise your right hand.
Well, I sure do thank you, Colonel Blake. When do I leave for Army camp?
We'll let you know, Jethro. The reserve is pretty full up right now.
Well, thanks again. General Grant, you're all wet.
Oh, your grandmother wears army boots. Where have you been? Crossing the Potomac?
Never mind. I kept my part of the bargain. Now, when do I go back to the Culpeper plantation and start shooting?
Right away. Are you sober enough to make that death-defying charge this time?
I have never been so disgustingly sober in my whole life. You got anything I can take for it?
Not me.
Granny, Uncle Jed.
Well, boy, how'd you make out at the Army Reserve?
I got in. I done took the oath.
Well, doggies, I'll go tell Ellie Mae we'll have us a real wingding to celebrate.
Guess who I saw down there? General Grant.
That parole buster.
You ain't just a joking. He's fixing to attack the Culpeper place again.
No.
Yeah, I heard him say so myself. He's gonna make his death-defying charge again.
Fetch the squirrel rifle and the ladyfinger bullets. This time I won't aim for his liver.
Hey, look, Granny, yonder he comes.
Okay, General, I give you your chance.
Oh!
Tell me to put it on, put it on. Come on, Jethro, let's go home.
And he promised me he'd be sober.
Good morning, Chief. What's this I hear about the Children's Zoo returning your gift?
Yeah, how about that? A baby hippopotamus worth thousands of dollars, and they sent it back.
Well, I don't understand.
Neither do I. You try to do something nice for the kids, give them some pleasure, a little advice.
Advice?
Well, I didn't give them just a plain hippo. I gave them a hippo with a message.
Chief, how could you?
Now, what's wrong with that? Kids don't read enough these days.
But to turn a baby hippopotamus into a signboard.
Oh, it's only water paint it washes right off. That way I can change the message every few days.
Uncle Milby?
Well, Milburn Drysdale is kind of cold and formal. Uncle Milby's more the real me. Warm, generous, fun-loving.
Save your pennies in a pig or save them in a cup, but bring them to the Commerce Bank or I will eat you up.
Kids love rhyme.
Oh, but gee, that's terrible.
Well, maybe I can think of something better.
No, I mean, the whole idea is thoroughly reprehensible.
What are you talking about? I'm entitled to get something for my money.
What money? You got this animal by foreclosing on a stranded circus.
Well, what's the difference? A kid would have loved him. 1 week, we could have painted nursery rhymes on him, like, Pussycat, pussycat, where have you went?
Your telephone's ringing.
Oh, keep thinking of some others. Maybe the zoo director will change his mind.
Don't you worry, little hippo. I'll wash this right off.
Now, Jethro, I don't want any more arguments. I want a chicken pen, and I want it right up against Miss Drysdale's head.
Well, Miss Drysdale ain't gonna like it.
What she don't like, she can lump.
If I put the pen up against the hedge, some of the chickens will slip through and go to scratching up Miss Drysdale's flowers.
You think so?
Is you trying to provoke a scrap with Miss Drysdale?
Why, Jethro, she's my next-door neighbor. My dear friend. A lovely lady.
Hey, there's a real funny-looking critter next door.
Oh, out in the yard, is she?
I can't see too good, but it's big and fat and ugly and got a mouth like a gator.
That's my dear friend, all right.
Here, Granny, you look.
Complains when I tries to raise chickens in the back?
Miss Drysdale.
And who is it squawks when I tries to raise a cow?
Miss Drysdale.
And who is it screams to a high heaven when I try to run a goat or a sheep?
Granny, what are you getting at?
I'm getting at this. That spiteful woman has turned her backyard into a hog lot.
A hog lot?
Granny, Miss Drysdale wouldn't touch a hog with a 10-foot pole.
She's got one now that she better not try to touch without a 10-foot pole.
What you mean?
We raised us some big porkers back home in the hills. But this hog makes a razorback look like a ground squirrel. Come on, here. Come on. Is that a hog or is that a hog?
That's a hog.
Biggest thing I ever did see.
When you yell suey at that rascal, you better not stand twixt him and a trough.
You know something? I don't think that's a big hog at all.
Shh. Don't mean mouth him, Ellie. I'd hate to get that hog riled.
I mean, he's something else.
Just better.
I wonder where Miss Drysdale got to hold him.
Ellie, run around the back door and ask her.
Granny, I think this could have come from Africa.
That must be someplace in Virginia.
Virginia?
Yeah, they raise awful big hogs there. Feed them on peanuts.
Well, there's a goober grabber if I ever seen one.
Child, why, that rascal is good for 300 yards of chitlins alone.
And would you look at them jowls?
Take a tub of turnip greens just to season them.
We gonna butcher him, Uncle Jed?
Well, he ain't ours to butcher, Jethro.
Oh, how I wish he was.
Well, I'm telling you, that critter ain't no butchering hog.
And I'm telling you, you're dead. That animal is standing on a pair of 200-pound hams.
And that bacon would fill a smokehouse.
Look at the size of them pig's knuckles.
But listen, Ellie. You run ask Miss Drysdale where she got him, like I told you.
And while you're at it, ask her, could we buy him off her?
But, Pa...
If he may do as you're told, time is a-wasting.
Uncle Jed, if you buy that rascal, we's gonna be eating high on the hog, sure enough.
High, low, and in between.
First thing I'm going to do is send one of them hams to Lee Summit, Missouri. That's Willie Marr thinks she can cure a big ham.
Granny, can't you just send her a picture? Why, you'd be giving away 1,000 ham sandwiches.
No, Jethro. Missouri is the show-me state. They gotta see it to believe it.
They could see this and still not believe it.
Granny, the maid says Miss Drysdale's back in Boston.
Do tell. What about the mister?
Well, he's down to the bank. Ain't nobody home but the maid, and she don't know nothing about this critter.
Well, nobody's home, huh? Jethro, instead of a chicken pen, you make me a hog pen. Ellie Mae, you...
Hog pen? Granny, you ain't fixing to bring this critter home.
Well, somebody's got to look after him, Jed. He's wasting away to skin and bones.
You leave him right there till I talk to Mr. Drysdale.
Well, suppose he don't want to sell him.
Well, then that's our tough luck. Come on, everybody.
Giddy up, come on.
Granny, I said leave that hog here.
Jed, I'm doing everything I can to keep him here. I'm even sitting on him.
Chief, I just spoke with the director of the Children's Zoo. He absolutely will not permit bank commercials on his animals.
Then I say no more zoo commercials on our money.
Zoo commercials?
Yes, did you ever hear of the buffalo nickel? What about the eagle on the quarter?
Chief, you are serious.
You bet I am. Here's a great chance to educate our little tots. Will you tell them my nursery rhyme, my dear?
Yes, and he doesn't consider a pussycat, where have you went as educational.
Well, what about the second line? To the Commerce Bank for 5%. That's the educational part.
Give up.
I will not. I've got some brilliant stuff here. Listen to this. Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her. Got a loan from Uncle Milby, now they always happy will be. Here's another one. Tom, the pauper's son.
That's the piper's son.
This kid is a pauper's son. So this old man borrows money from the Commerce Bank and strikes it rich. Oh, now, wait, here's a good one right here. Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet, figuring her interest rate. Along came a spider and sat down beside her and said, hey, this Commerce Bank is great. Wait. That may be the zoo director with a change of heart. Melvin Drysdale speaking. Oh, hello, Mr. Clampett. What can I do for you?
Why, Granny has just got a powerful hankering for that big fat hog of yours.
Well, I'm sorry, but she's in Boston for a week.
Don't tell him I'm hankering for it. That ain't no way to make a deal. I see somebody stuck there with a sick hog.
Sick hog?
Oh, he's in bad shape, Mr. Drysdale. His bristles have all fell out, and his tail has come on kink. Oh, I grant you he looks big and fat. But that's 'cause he's a windsucker. All bloat. Take my word for it, Mr. Drysdale. That hog is dying of the epizootic.
Oh, Granny, you must mean...
from you, just for the hide and the tallow.
Mr. Drysdale, I hope you'll forgive Granny for trying to shuck you out of your hog. We'll call you back. Bye. Granny, I am plumb ashamed of you.
What do you mean? It's always open season on drummers and city slickers.
Not when they're your next-door neighbors. You have done hurt Mr. Drysdale to the quick. I'll bet you he's fit to bust down and cry.
Granny's dying to buy that hippo. She thinks it's a big hog.
Chief, whether it's a hog or a hippo, she won't be allowed to keep it.
Oh, I know that. Eventually, she'll have to give it to the zoo, the Children's Zoo. And there'll be a little inspirational message on him for the kitty. Where are you going?
Sick leave.
You're not sick.
If I don't leave, I will be.
Come out of here, doggone you.
What you doing, Granny?
Oh, hi, Jed.
Hi, what you doing?
Trying to get my rope out of the Drysdale's yard. It must have snagged on something like a root or a stump.
Or a hog.
A hog? Why, yeah. I'll bet you that's what happened. That poor starving critter probably swallowed the other end of my rope, thinking it was a big stalk of sugar cane.
You think so?
Yeah. We gotta save him, Jed. Why don't you call Mr. Drysdale, see if you can make a deal with him for that poor, sick, miserable beast.
Granny, the other end of this rope is tied around that hog.
Hang yourself.
Hang himself?
Yeah. Amongst hogs, that's known as suicide.
What you been whitewashing?
The chicken house.
We ain't got no...
Please, Jen, don't call Mr. Drysdale.
I'm gonna untie that hog.
No, Jed, don't go. I'll do it. Please, Jed, don't go. Wait, Jed. Don't touch that hog. You'll get the epizootic, sure as shooting.
That hog ain't got the epizootic, and you know it.
Well, he's got something that's about to kill him.
Yeah, you.
Well, whatever give you that crazy notion?
Well, let's say it's the way you got him whitewashed. Wash this hog down, and then you're going to let him be.
But, Jed, I can't leave him here alone and unprotected. The wolves might get him.
Wolves?
You know how they like little pigs.
I've never seen you so bound and determined to get your hands on a critter. What is it?
Jed, all my life I've wanted to win first prize for the biggest ham at the fair. And Willie Marr always beat me out. I'm an old woman, Jed. This is my last chance. If I could just go to my grave with a blue ribbon, I'd be the happiest woman alive.
Granny, I can understand you wanting this hog, but buy him off Mr. Drysdale fair and square.
All right, Jed, I will. After all, it's only money. You can't take it with you.
That's the spirit. Now, what do you figure is a fair offer?
Well, he's our next-door neighbor and our very dear friend. How about $1.25? All right, kid. I'll go $1.30. But for that price, he's got to pull it through the hedge for me.
$1.30? Granny, that hog will weigh out at close to 1,000 pounds.
That's all hoof and hide. Why, dressed, I bet you he wouldn't go 20 pounds. I'll be lucky to break even.
Hey, Granny, give me my commission. I went around the neighborhood like you told me to and took orders on $200 worth of hog meat.
Hush. Folks is on the phone.
Pretty good price for 20 pounds, isn't it?
Well, you wouldn't begrudge a poor old widow a little profit, would you?
Mr. Drysdale, this here is Jed Clampett. Say, would you consider $200 for that hog?
$200!
That's a deal, then.
Thief with a rubber!
Thank you, Mr. Drysdale. Bye. Granny, you can't take it with you.
Who's going anywhere? I'll have to put a lot of sawdust in my sausage to come out on that deal.
Granny, I told everybody...
You shut your big $200 mouth.
But, Granny, I told everybody you were going to come up with top-grade hickory smoked meat.
And you're right. I'm going to cut me a piece of hickory, and I'm going to smoke your meat.
Come on, Harold. We's getting you away from here. Let's go.
Hey, Ellie, where you going with Granny's hog?
I'm taking him to the zoo because he ain't no hog.
Well, he better be a hog. I done sold $200 worth of that rascal, and I ain't even up to his spare rib.
Well, this critter's what you call a hippopotamus.
Can you get $200 worth of bacon, pork chops, or country sausage from a hippopotamus?
No.
Then this is a hog.
No, it ain't. It's a hippopotamus.
Don't say that, Ellie. You're going to cost me a fortune. Look, I'll show you what my commission comes to on what I've sold up till now. Look at here. $200 worth of orders. Now, that's 2 naught naught dot naught naught. Now, I get 5%. That's dot naught 5, and I put that under the naught naught and times it. Let's see, 5 noughts is naught, 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 5 twos is 1, and a naught. Now I just add that all up, and put down the knot. Really, I made me $1,000 commission.
Oh, $200 worth of orders?
It looks like in the meat business, the money's in the selling. Hog, I'm gonna get rich just selling your sausage.
There ain't gonna be no sausages because this here is a hippopotamus.
It might be a hippopotamus now, but it's coming out of that sausage grinder a hog. Yes, it is.
Don't find me down to Ellie Mae. That hog ain't to be played with. Now, you take him around here.
What do you mean, Granny? Ellie will take our hog to the zoo.
Ellie's gonna take him back to the trough like I told her.
But, Granny, listen.
Now, you listen, child. That hog's hind leg is gonna send me to my grave a famous woman. For years, they'll be talking about the Daisy Moses Memorial Ham. Right on, Jethro?
Don't you worry, Harold. Ain't nobody gonna run you through no sausage grinder. Hey, I got an idea. I know one place where Granny can't get at you. Come on.
Chief, the owner of the circus just called.
Oh, good. Did he get the bank commercial tattooed on my fat lady?
Of course not. He wants to know if you'll take a baby elephant off his hands.
No, I won't.
The Children's Zoo would love to have it.
They would, eh? Well, maybe we can work something out. Now, let's see. A nickel drop into my trunkle. Draw 5% from sweet old uncle.
No, Chief, no. I have told you the Children's Zoo will not permit you to paint bank commercials on their animals.
Then they don't get the elephant. No more, Mr. Nice Guy.
Chief, listen, please. It seems that the baby hippo and the baby elephant were inseparable companions. Now the baby elephant is pining away for his friend. They should be together.
But how can they be? I just sold the hippo to the Clampetts. They think it's a big hog. Hey, wait a minute. Maybe I can tell them the elephant is a long-nosed calf.
Can we come in?
Granny, Jethro, how are you? How's that big hog?
He's too darn high. That's how he is.
Beauty,
but you speak when you're spoke to. Now, you and me is gonna do some hog haggling.
There's no need to, Granny. You can have him free.
Oh, no. I came here to haggle, and we's gonna haggle. Now, you set a price, then I'll make an offer. Then we'll lock horns and go at it.
Granny, if he's willing to...
You listen and learn, boy. I'll show you how it's done. All right, let her fly.
What?
50, and that's my last offer.
Well, all right. So?
Get him. He don't know what hit him.
Granny, he was going to sell you the hog for $30.
You might have to carry me for part of it.
Oh, no problem. Oh, Granny, as long as we're dealing, how would you like to buy a long-nosed calf?
Oh, no. No, Chief. You are not going to sell her that.
But if she wants it?
No, I absolutely will not let you.
Jethro, you are now watching the oldest trick in the haggling business. You see, she, pretending that she wants the calf, is supposed to make me want it all the more. That's what they call chumming the sucker. Here's your money for the hog. We'll talk about the calf some other time, when your partner ain't around.
I'll be right with you, Granny. Mr. Drysdale, I'm going to open up a big account with you. I'm making money hand over fist.
Wonderful.
How are you doing it, Jethro?
Well, selling meat on commission. I made $1,000 already today.
What kind of meat are you selling?
Oh, hickory smoked ham, bacon, chops, ribs, you name it, I got it.
Well, then, put me down for $50 with the bacon and ribs.
I'll take $20 worth.
Hot dog. 50 and 20. Not, fetch down the knot. I done made another $350.
Jethro, when do we get the meat?
Oh, quick as Granny butchers that big hog you done sold her.
What did he say?
He said, quote, quick as Granny butchers that big hog you done sold her, unquote.
I thought that's what he said. I'd better get Mr. Clampett on the phone and tell him to stop Granny.
I'll say you'd better. And if anything happens to that hippo, Uncle Milby will be Uncle Mud. Children will picket this bank. Moppets will mob you in the street. Their parents will withdraw their money.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no answer. You don't suppose those hillbillies already have...
If they have, you had better leave town.
My hog is gone! My hog is gone! Hog zappers! Call the police! Fetch my gun! Get out of posse! Different, where's my hog?
Ain't he at the trough?
No, he's gone!
Oh, I done been wiped out.
I wanted to die famous.
I bet you Ellie done took the hog to the zoo.
I don't hardly think she'd do that in her swimming suit.
Like the water, don't you, Harold? Granny's scared of it, so we safe in here.
Ellie Mae's drowning my hog. Quick, Jethro, jump in and pull him out. Give him mouth-to-mouth recitation.
I ain't getting close to them jowls till he's on a plate.
He won't drown, Granny. He likes the water.
He'll shrink. His hide will pucker. Get him out of there.
Well, I'm coming out till you promise not to butcher Harold.
She done turned him into a pet.
Forget him, Jethro. By the time he gets out of the water, he'll be ruined. There ain't no market for soggy sausage.
Granny, how's the hog? Is he all right?
Oh, he's fine. He's fine. We just given him a bath. I tell you what. I'll trade you my big, clean hog, even up, for your dirty little long-nosed cat.
It's a deal.
Chief, both those animals are going to the children's zoo. You promised.
Oh, well, all right. Back to Mr. Nice Guy.
Mr. Drysdale, I don't want to shame you in front of nobody, but that ain't no long-nosed cat.
Thank you, Granny.
But that zoo sure is getting a prize-winning hog.
Chief, I just spoke to the director of the children's zoo, and the truck is on its way.
Fine, fine.
The children are going to be charmed and delighted by these animals.
He's going to like these poems, too, Mr. Drysdale.
Poems?
Yeah, he's wrote a dandy on this critter. You can give my trunk a yank if you bring your folks to the Commerce Bank.
Morning, Miss Hathaway. I don't want to be disturbed.
But Chief, more oil has been discovered in the Clampett place.
What was that? More oil in the Clampett place?
Yes, this telegram is from Mr. Brewster of the OK Oil Company. He says they're...
New pool. Estimated flow, 7,000 barrels a day. Let's see, 7,000 barrels a barrel, 27.5% depletion allowance.
And that's only part of the exciting news. Mr. Brewster is flying out from Tulsa to get Mr. Clampett's signature on the lease renewals. Meantime, his fiancée is flying out from New York. They're going to meet here and get married. Isn't that romantic?
I'll say it is. It means at least another 10 million.
No, I mean getting married.
Oh, you're getting married? Congratulations.
Chief, it is Mr. Brewster who is getting married. His plane arrives at the airport in about half an hour. Would you like me to meet him?
No, I'll meet him. I want to make sure those leases get signed. Let's see. 10 million, loaned out at 8%. There it is, Mr. Brewster. That's where the Clampetts are living right now.
Oh, what a magnificent estate. You know, this mighty nice of you, Drysdale, renting a helicopter just to show me that...
Oh, think nothing of it. I knew you'd get a kick out of it.
Well, I certainly am.
See, while we're here, why don't we land on the lawn?
What?
Well, we could get those leases signed right now. Have it over with. Good feeling, eh? Money in the bank, so to speak.
Oh, no, thank you. The last time I tried to land near the Clampetts in a helicopter, Granny took a shot at me.
Oh, that was 3 years ago, back in the hills. There's no danger now.
Hey, Granny, take it easy. The last time you cut loose at one of them, it was that Brewster feller coming to buy Uncle Jed's oil.
Yeah, if you'd have hit him, you wouldn't be living out here in this fancy mansion.
That's right. You'd still be back in that poor little old cabin, shooing pigs and chickens out the door.
Yeah. Of all the times to miss.
All right, Pilot, you can circle the place again.
Look, I've got to get back to the airport and meet my fiancée.
Oh, she'll wait for you. Look, the sooner we get these leases signed, the sooner that money's going to start rolling in.
Mr. Drysdale, this is my wedding day. Her flight is due in 15 minutes.
We got time. Maybe her plane will be late. Maybe something happened to it. You know, like headwinds or fog or something like that? All right, head back to the airport.
Beverly Hills mansion. Nothing but a big pile of rock. Might as well live in a prison. I'm busting out. Going back to the camp. And don't you try to stop me.
Oh, ma'am. Youngins, what's that granny off this time?
One of them whirlybirds come over and made her mad.
You gotta think about the time one flew over the place back home.
Now she's homesick for the cabin again.
Well, we can fix that.
You mean we's going home?
Well, you don't have to. We still got that cabin Mr. Drysdale put up for Granny's birthday.
Hey, that's right. It's all took apart, but it wouldn't take no time to throw it together again.
Well, Bessie and me'll help.
Come on, youngins, let's get that one up before she tears this one down.
Roof's all finished, Uncle Jed.
Fine, yes, sir. Now just nail this porch railing in place and we'll be just about done.
By dingies, it went up faster than a barn racing.
Did for a fact, Granny. Anything missing?
Let's see. Oh, my jug.
Well, Bessie can fetch it.
No, Ellie, I'd best do it. That little monkey gets one taste of Granny's corn, we'll never get her back on bananas.
No need for you lovebirds to disturb yourselves. Just give me the leases, and I'll get them signed without wasting our time. I know you're in a hurry to get married.
Melvin, there's plenty of time. The ceremony's set for 3 o'clock.
Well, who needs a ceremony? It's just a simple lease signing.
The wedding ceremony.
I'm very anxious to meet the Clampetts. John has told me of their transformation from backwoods hillbillies to Beverly Hills multimillionaires.
I'm only sorry you couldn't have seen them the way they looked 3 years ago back in those hills. I'll never forget Mr. Clampett when he opened the door of that cabin. He looked like he hadn't shaved for 3 days. He had on an old beat-up hat, faded blue jeans, a torn coat. He was carrying a jug of Mountain Dew.
Hey, howdy, folks. Hi, Mr. Drysdale.
Mr. Clampett, you remember Mr. Brewster here?
Well, doggies, I sure do. How are you, Mr. Brewster?
He's fine. He wants to get your signature on some leases.
Well, come in, come in.
Well, thank you, Mr. Clampett.
I'll get things ready.
Mr. Clampett, may I present my fiancée, Miss Edith Williams?
Yeah, howdy, ma'am.
How do you do, Mr. Clamp?
Yes, we're getting married this afternoon.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Edith is giving up a very successful career to become my wife. She's a famous New York decorator.
Well, I ain't never seen New York, but if you decorate it, I'll bet you it's mighty pretty.
Well, she decorates home.
Yes, and yours is certainly magnificent. May we see more of it?
Oh, you bet you can. The rest of the family's out back. You'll see most of it on the way.
Good.
Now, Mr. Clampett, if you'll just put your signature where I've made these little marks. The sooner these leases are signed, the sooner my money... Your money will start rolling. Mr. Clampett? Mr. Clampett? Mr. Clampett?
Oh, what a lovely picture.
Come take a look out back.
Thank you. We'd love to.
Mr. Clampett! Mr. Clampett! Mr.
Well, I wish you'd look at this. Darling, this is exactly like their little cabin back in the hills.
Oh, what a charming idea.
Come on in and meet the rest of the family. We'll set a spell and visit.
Well, what happened to Mr. Drysdale?
Oh, who knows? He's been hounding me all day to get those leases signed. Now that there's a perfect opportunity, he's asleep at the switch.
Mr. Clampett!
Granny, these are perfectly marvelous antiques. Would you consider selling me this spinning wheel and churn?
Well, they's the only ones I got. But you can use them. It's good to see a young bride these days that likes to spin and churn.
Anything else I can do for you, Granny?
Yes, boy, you can take the truck and go get me some nice fat pigs.
Yes, ma'am.
I miss having pigs around the place. Don't you?
I don't really... I never... That isn't...
Well, you like pigs, don't you?
Well, yes. Oh, yes, of course. They're charming.
Well, some is and some ain't.
Come join us, darling. Here. Mr. Clampett's been telling me how he spent his honeymoon in a cabin just like this one.
Really? Oh, how charming and romantic.
Yes, ma'am, it was. Yes, Edith and I envy you that honeymoon, Mr. Clampett. So simple, so uncomplicated. Now, you take our honeymoon plans. Everything is on a split-second schedule. Plane to Las Vegas, the wedding, the reception, the plane ride back, the hotel reservations tonight.
Oh, dear, that reminds me. Did you arrange for a photographer?
Got it completely. There, you see, already it's too complicated for me to handle.
Seems a shame to clutter up a honeymoon with a lot of worries like that. All we had to worry about was what time the chivalry started.
What?
Chivalry. It's a custom in certain rural areas, darling, where the friends and neighbors of the newlyweds get together and serenade them by shooting off guns, beating on pots and pans, blowing on horns, yelling.
In the middle of the night.
You're joking.
No, then everybody come in, had victual, passed the jug around. A heap of fun. Was the first skier wore off.
Yes, it sounds like lots of fun.
Well, that's just another one of the simple pleasures we'll have to miss, Mr. Clampett.
Speaking of missing things, dear, the plane to Las Vegas?
Hey, I forgot that completely. We haven't even got the oil leases signed yet. Come on, Mr. Clampett, let's find Drysdale.
Goodbye, Granny.
Bye, Granny.
Goodbye and happy honeymoon.
Thank you.
I'll see you two in half a minute.
Right.
Granny, we could make their honeymoon the happiest they ever was.
I bet you're thinking of the same thing I am.
Let them stay here in the cabin?
That's it.
It seems a shame after they took on over this place to make them go to the hotel.
But, Jim, it should be a surprise. Now, how can we get them to come back here?
Well, I think I can handle that, Granny.
Her name is Eleanor. Ain't she pretty?
Lovely.
Here, you can hold her.
Here.
I'll go catch another one for you.
I didn't know this cabin was up again. Oh, I bet I went through that house 40 times looking for you.
Well, you like chickens, do you, Mr. Brewster?
Oh, yes, indeed.
Mr. Clampett, we just have time to get your signature on these oil leases before we rush this happy couple to the airport.
Well, I'm going to have to study on these, Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, we might miss our plane. Don't forget that split-second schedule I told you about.
Well, you go right ahead, fly up there, get the knot tied. We take care of these when you get back. Come on, get these folks on that airplane. Leave everything else to us.
Milburn, I think we'd better do as Mr. Clampett wishes. Come along, dear.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, Granny.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Shucks, I'm too late. Miss Edith wanted a chick in the hole.
You hear that, Granny? She's fond of them, too.
You know what else she likes?
What?
Spinning, churning, and pigs.
Doggies. They is going to have the happiest honeymoon two city folks ever dreamed of.
How does it look, Paul?
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
Can't you just picture him sitting up there on that bench?
I can't for a fact, Granny. He's going to be the proudest, happiest pair of newlyweds that ever said I do.
Let's go, Uncle Jed.
What you got there?
Well, you said to fetch along a bag of rice.
Put it down.
But you said to...
Put it down.
Well, gee whiz, I done just what you told me. If there ain't enough, say so. I'll go fetch another bag.
Get on the truck. We're going to be late.
We'll have the cabin all ready when you get back.
Fine and dandy. Better roll, boy.
What you crying for, Granny?
It's all so beautiful.
Hey, the house is out!
Get back to the cabin. You want to spoil the honeymoon.
I've never been so embarrassed in my life.
Hang on, dear. We'll be at the hotel soon.
I ain't ever seen such a loving couple. They've been cuddling like that ever since we left the airport.
I know.
Darling, how much longer?
Just another block. Jethro, that's the hotel just up the street there. But don't stop in front. There's a basement garage. Just make a turn at that alley there.
Oh, you're coming home with us first. We got a surprise for you.
Another one? I mean, you've done too much already.
Yes, this ride from the airport is something we'll never forget.
Doc, that ain't nothing compared to what's waiting for you at home.
Well, if you mean the leases, I can send a messenger for those. Oh, here's the alley, Jethro. Just make
Now, you just sit back and enjoy the ride. This is your honeymoon.
He's cuddling again.
They's a-coming, Granny, they's a-coming!
Here's your rice.
Surprise!
They're surprised, all right. Just look at their faces.
John, surely they don't expect us to stay here.
No, honey. This is just a little reception. Well, folks, this is a wonderful surprise. You made Mrs. Brewster and me very happy.
Yes, it's so kind of you.
Up here.
Oh, my honey, you look just beautiful.
Sure did.
Thank you.
Yes, isn't she the loveliest, the most beautiful thing you ever...
John,
Huh?
John, that's our luggage.
Oh, no, Mr. Clampett. Don't carry those inside.
Now, Mr. Brewster, you forget these. You got something else to carry inside.
Wait here, dear. I'll straighten this out. Mr. Clampett. Mr. Clampett, is it your intention that Edith and I stay here?
For as long as you want to. I just want you to have the same kind of happy honeymoon that I did.
Well, we're very grateful to you.
I don't want to hear no thanks. I'm pleased to help get your marriage off to a good start.
Well, that's very nice of you, Mr. Clampett, but we have this reservation at the hotel.
Oh, we cancel that for you, Mr. Brewster.
See, life's getting simpler already, ain't it?
Anything else I can do for you? Want me to tote your bride over the door sill for you?
Jethro.
No, thank you, Jethro.
Okay.
Mr. Clampett, I want you to know that Edith and I
Now,
are...
there you go again. Your happiness is the only thanks I want. Now, we're all going to clear out of here.
John! Mr. Clampett! Here you are. I've been going out of my mind with worry. Did everything go all right?
Fine. You're just in time to congratulate Mr. Brewster.
Oh, then you got the leases signed. Congratulations.
I mean, on getting married. I ain't signed no leases.
You ain't?
Well, Mr. Clampett, if we could get that little matter over with.
Now, Mr. Brewster, we ain't going to talk business on your wedding night.
We ain't?
John, Mr. Drysdale has his limousine out front. He can take us to our hotel.
Miss Brewster, I got good news for you. You ain't spending your honeymoon in no hotel.
I ain't?
No, you ain't.
It's you. What was that terrible racket?
I'm afraid I stepped on one of our wedding presents.
Now, John, listen to me. You're my husband, and I love you. And I know how important those oil leases are to you. But I am not spending my wedding night in this animal shelter.
Please listen, I've solved everything.
Oh, you have?
Yes, I've been out scouting around. The Drysdale home is through that hedge just beyond the swimming pool. We'll slip over there, call a taxi, and go down to the hotel.
Oh, John, you're wonderful.
Yes, I'll have to do a little explaining in the morning, but I'll worry about that tomorrow.
I'll go change.
Just throw on a coat and grab one bag.
Yes, dear.
Hurry now. Darling, I said just one bag.
Well, it's my cosmetic case. I'll carry it.
Don't step on any livestock.
Darling, it's so dark. Shouldn't we take a lantern or something?
No, the Clampetts might see us if we did that. You just hang on to me, dear. Now, come on, let's go.
What was it, Jed? Could you tell?
Granny, you ain't going to believe this, but the Brewsters just went swimming.
Swimming?
Let's try again.
Not without a lantern.
Okay, surely the Clampetts are asleep by now. You know, this back way may be a shortcut. Let's,
Wait there, it's only a Chevrolet. Look out! Why don't you go in the pool? All right, everybody. I think I just heard him yell something about going in the pool. Yep, there they go again.
Crazy city folks. What do we do now, Pa?
Well, the way I look at it, it's their honeymoon. They want to spend it swimming, that's their business. Let's go to bed.
Nhiều nước mắt quá. Vẫn chưa giảm hưu, giờ cần cái giảm hưu ấy. Không em bị ấy. Nhiều cái gặp bài mấy cái bài thằng nó hưu ra xác cái thua luôn đấy. Mày nhòn. Mấy thằng nhòn, mấy thằng cứ nhòn với thầy, cứ nhòn với thầy đi, cứ nhòn với thầy đi. Hải Nam thắng lại thắng à? Kinh đấy hả? Anh sợ đấy rồi, anh sợ đây, anh sợ đây, anh sợ đây. Sao thằng cầm cưa đi. Xin thằng cầm cưa, xin thằng cầm cưa đi. Thằng kia đừng lấy thằng cầm cưa. Nó sẽ anh kia ngon à? Ai thằng kia ui băng thẳng à. Cắm thẳng đầu đấy ạ. Thằng cái gì? Cần cái gì? À, lắp ấy ạ, lắp. Áp chết tiêu nhỉ? Áp chết là vụt với thằng xanh con này không nhỉ? Khỏe đấy, ba thằng nó hiện thực sự là khỏe đấy. Vụt luôn rồi, phải vụt luôn rồi, phải vụt luôn rồi, phải vụt luôn rồi đấy, phải vụt đấy. Áp chết giờ không biết update. Nó chắc là thêm vào chẳng nó có gì thôi, thua rồi thôi. Vào đây, gặp Hồng đi ăn TB êm. Đối mềm nhất không? Đối cứng đấy. Thằng cưa, cưa đi. Giết vợ đi nào, giết vợ đi nào, giết vợ đi nào. Giết hết luôn ấy, không phải giết vợ nữa rồi, giết hết luôn rồi. Dùng chiêu lút Lulu ơi, Lulu không dùng một chiêu lần nữa. Nhưng mà thắng mất tiêu rồi. Khe. Quá hay, không phải áp chết, quá hay. Mẹ lại thắng à, băng người đích à? Cái gì đây, 6 combo. Lại là 6 combo à? Kinh thế nhở? Hồng đen thế này đi. Ủa chết rồi, sao Lulu ra ngoài rồi, hỏng rồi. Ôi, gặp Lam béo à? Gặp Lam béo mà lỡ cho Lulu ra ngoài, không mấy con kia không nhận hiệu ứng giảm kháng phép à? Thế thì sao giết giờ? Lại trước lao quái nữa, hồi lông thế, đừng. Hồi thua. Thua chắc rồi. Hồi máu kinh quá. Đâu không chịu. Con kia hồi máu lốt mà bắn tiếp à, đấy, bắn hết. Lửa đi. Ôi, hay đấy. Lửa đi. Piu à. Hồi lồng thế. Hồi lồng thế nhỉ. Băng người đích rồi, băng người đích rồi. Sao rồi, băng người đích rồi. Băng người đích rồi, sao có dễ thế nhở? Thực sự là thơm ấy. Cái này đi. Ok. Bốc đổ á. Hay mơ mấy con bên trên không con nào dùng được bốc đổ.